We are in the opening possession for Purdue. Indiana was forced to punt. They were stopped on third down. David Norrie, the stakes don't get any higher than this. This place was like a cauldron with 34 years of frustration pent up and ready to explode should Purdue get to the Rose Bowl for the first time in 34 years.
Purdue had an opportunity last week against the last place team in the Big Ten to convert. They did not. It's Drew Brees' game to win or lose. The granddaddy is on the line, Sean.
Purdue, the top third down team in the Big Ten. With their first third down opportunity, Brees throw over the middle is batted down, incomplete. Devin Schaefer, the linebacker, was all over Tim Stratton. If Indiana's linebackers can cover one of the best tight ends in the country today, they're going to be in good shape, and Schaefer did there.
Now, that's a heck of a play by Devin Schaefer, number 8, and he's working against one of the best route runners in the country, certainly route runners at the tight end position. Tim Stratton trying to work over the middle. Schaefer shadowed him all the way, and Indiana, for the 11th time this year, successful in holding the opposing team to no points on the opening drive.
Short kick. Darren Graham comes up to get it, and does he ever get popped by Sean Phillips? He whacked him. If Purdue's Rose Bowl bid is to be foiled today, David Norrie, it will be Antoine Randall L. who does the foiling.
And this guy is certainly the most dangerous quarterback this side of Michael Vick. And the reason why he's so dangerous, you can play great defense. You can play fundamentally sound. You can stick to your responsibilities on defense, and he'll still burn you. A very dangerous runner and very capable of making the big play down the field in the passing game.
5 plays for Indiana on their first possession. None of them run option. Dwayne Hogan is the fullback, as Randall L. will change the play. He often has several choices when he comes to the line of scrimmage. Hogan, the fullback, avoids one, has a first down. Last week, Michigan State ran the ball very well up the gut against Purdue. Indiana wants to do the same thing today. We check out our Chili's starting lineups. Randall L. gets the attention all Levron Williams has done in his career with great size at 6'4", 221. His rush for 7 yards per carry. He did not start in this game on the first possession. He's been bothered by a hip flexor. Spent last week's game against Wisconsin on the exercise bike. But he is out there now and a very dangerous component to an Indiana offense that has put up a ton of numbers.
Randall L. the ball carrier. Penalty markers stop play.
Got a little chippy on the opening possession as well. You're seeing quite a bit of that throughout the country today on Rivalry Saturday. Have no illusions.
Offside on the defense. 5 yards, first and 5.
The offensive line for Indiana was a group. None of these players had played any of these positions when the year started. They are all a hodgepodge group. Greg Osico with a tight end who caught 11 passes from Antoine Randall L. last year. A very underrated, maybe undersized Purdue defensive line. Ken Adell will be an All-American next year. Book it. After the penalty, 1st and 5. Gaddis is the lone receiver, double tight end. Here's our first look at the option. Randall L. will pitch it late if he wants to, and that's why the Purdue defense had to be true to it. They got to get to Antoine Randall L. in the backfield because he will pitch that thing as late as you can imagine.
And Purdue has great speed on defense, but number 1 priority for the Boilermakers, stop the option. Watch Woodyard, number 7. He's going to take the pitch man and the quick decision-making. What speed when he decides to break it upfield. Antoine Randall L. I mean, he is a load to handle. He is the X factor in this ballgame.
14 yards for Randall L. Again, the one receiver. This time they'll try the other side. Randall L. had nowhere to go. He knew better than to pitch it later. Would have been big trouble. And he has thrown for a loss. Gilbert Gardner comes to make the play for Purdue. And he is a true freshman in a group of linebackers that is young, fast, and did I mention young? A true freshman, a redshirt freshman, and a sophomore comprise a linebacking corps trying to get to the Rose Bowl today. And speaking of freshmen, the Big Ten Freshman of the Year may end up being Stu Schweigert, the free safety. The entire defense, Brock Spack told us yesterday, funnels through him, and he will lead this team in tackles as a true freshman. The battle before the season started between the offense and the defense as to who would get his services. He was an option quarterback in high school with Brock Spack, who you just saw won that battle, and is happy to have him on his defense. Randall L. Big hole. They bid on the dive. He will get to the outside. Woodyard forces him out of the 25, but he has got an Indiana first down. In the game 1 year ago, David, Randall L. killed Purdue on 3rd and long.
Yeah, and Randall L. is not just dangerous on the option. He's not just dangerous on the scramble. He has designed plays inside. He's going to belly the fake to the fullback, follow the fullback up into the hole. Some nice blocking downfield by Versi Gaddis. And this kid is dangerous. When you talk to coaches, all they tell you is, we're glad we don't have to line up against him again this year. If they have him next year on the schedule, they say, we hope Randall L. goes early in the NFL draft.
Something he said this week he would not do if Cam Cameron is brought back as the head coach at Indiana. 18 yards for Randall L. on that last run. Hogan, the fullback, fights through 2 and has a healthy chunk of yardage on first down. Dell Game Solutions time.
Now, when you're lining up against Purdue and you're the Indiana offense, you want an offensive game from number 11 like the one he posted against the Gophers earlier this year. Over 450 yards of total offense, went over 200 yards on the ground. Purdue defense, square number 1, stop the option, take away the perimeter run game from the Hoosiers.
Randall L. threw for 200 and ran for 200 in that game against Minnesota. Those are staggering numbers, and there is no end to the list of numbers he has put up through his first 3 years. Randall L. beats the first man, puts it on the ground. Gardner hit him, knocked it loose, and Purdue has got it. Akin Adele on the recovery. Randall L. giveth, and sometimes Randall L. taketh away.
Watch number 53, Sean Phillips. He makes the play. He gets penetration. He forces Randall L. to bow, and the hit by Gardner. Adele right there to make the recovery, the first big play of this ball game. And if there's been an Achilles heel for Antoine Randall L., it's turnovers in big football games.
In critical situations. Threw an interception in the end zone last week against Wisconsin. 2 weeks ago, fumbled as he was going in for a touchdown at Illinois. Seth Morales, the receiver who caught the biggest pass of the year for Purdue against Ohio State, is the one who goes in motion. Brees escapes trouble as he does so well, and his pass is completed. Donald Winston has a big gain into Indiana territory. And that play is made by the escapability and underrated quality of one Drew Brees.
I think Drew Brees is a better quarterback on the move and a better quarterback buying time. He just gets outside. This is a beautiful ball right on the money. And how about Winston? What a story. Winston broke his ankle, the same bone in his ankle, 3 consecutive years. He fought, he scratched, he stayed in the lineup, and he's become a big play performer for Purdue. We take a look at the strengths for Drew Brees. Of course, 4-year player, the decision-making, and he's at his best when the game's on the line.
29-yard catch and run for Winston. It breaks down. Brees has open field in front of him. First down, and he will slide out of bounds inside the 30, down near the 26. In support of Drew Brees this afternoon and the Boilermakers attempt to go to the Rose Bowl, this is the group he will have. Winston, a backup receiver you saw make the big play. His go-to guy is Vinny Sutherland, who we understand did not have a vote that held up the election in West Palm Beach. Vinny Sutherland has made big play after big play this year for Purdue. Brees, quick out, incomplete, looking for Sutherland. On this, the second possession, both teams, David, really giving us different looks on each of their first 2 possessions. Indiana didn't run any option on their first possession, then ripped it down the field with option, and now Drew Brees throwing the ball here on Purdue's second possession after they ran it exclusively on their first.
Yeah, big dose of Montrell Lowe, the tailback for Purdue, and as we mentioned last year's game, Lowe 135 yards against Indiana, and he's had a couple big games rushing over the course of this 2000 season.
4 receivers and a tight end, Stratton, who is essentially a receiver in a tight end's body. Quarterback draw. It breaks down for Brees. He doesn't have much, maybe a yard or two inside the 25. Maybe the most underrated offensive line in the entire country protects Drew Brees. And his best friend on the team, he says, is Matt Light, the lighthouse, who, like a beacon, protects his quarterback. They will go head-to-head with this group. Paul Mandina is the leader of the Indiana defense. He came from Rochester, New York, and when he arrived in Bloomington, he didn't know what a Hoosier was. He thought it was the movie. But he has come to fall in love with the Oaken Bucket and would like nothing better than to put it on the team bus when this game is over. Purdue, an excellent third down team. This is 3rd and long. Brees has Stratton over the middle, complete, first down. Down to the 12. Stratton named a Mackey Award finalist on Monday as one of the top tight ends in the country. His 53rd catch of the year.
And this is what makes Brees so special. We talked about decision-making. He's going to check 2 receivers on the right side, on the front side. His third choice, you see him reload there. He comes right back to Stratton. Ball delivered a little bit behind number 89, Stratton. Gears down, makes a big catch. First down for the Boilermakers.
12 yards and a first down. Montrell Lowe is the lone setback. He will get it. Flags are down as Lowe is in. Hold the phone. The laundry has fallen in an area that normally does not bode well for the offense. Today it does. Touchdown.
Offside on the defense. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Just the 3rd touchdown of the year for Montrell Lowe.
It looked like a Hoosier was lined up in the neutral zone, Sean.
Travis Dorsch will attempt the extra point.
34 yards in the first quarter for Montrell Lowe, but those were the biggest of his football life. Travis Dorsch is on to add the extra point, and he cannot do it. We've seen a bunch of those already today. On their 2nd possession, Purdue goes the length of the field. Montrell Lowe, the sophomore from LaPorte, Texas, has put Purdue on the board.
Chili's Ranch Hand Filet. Hand-carved, flame-grilled. And served with awesome blossom strings, mashed potatoes, and fresh-cut grilled veggies. It's made for men and women who ride the range, or who are just tired of cooking on one.
Policeman, fireman, the mayor of my town. The dude's hanging off of the paper truck. Mr. Chang, down at the local deli, sells me morning coffee, wishes me good luck. This is for the people in my neighborhood. They help me through the day and make me feel good. There's a bus for you. And you, and you, and you. There's a bus for you.
Online brokers have a game. It's called Who's Got the Cheapest Trade. So you spend time comparing prices instead of comparing resources. Judging how good the deal is rather than judging how good the information is. Investing isn't a game. You need to trade online with trusted advice and better information. Morgan Stanley Dean Witter.
Move your money. Get well connected. Meet the all-new Aztec. Meet Sam and Kate. They're about to
Catch a thief.
You get the cooler, I'll get your 500 pairs of shoes.
Okay.
next day.
Take the stage. Can't you unload all this by yourself?
Give me an eye. She should.
He misses. Meet Aztec, quite possibly the most versatile vehicle on the planet. By Pontiac.
All I know, this is what we're going to do. We're going to keep getting them dubs. All year long, baby. Keep getting them dubs. Super Bowl, baby. Guaranteed.
Missed extra point by Travis Dorsch, who has had his ups and his downs here at Purdue. And a touchdown by Montrell Lowe on Purdue's second possession. After Lowe was the primary option on their first possession, giving the Boilermakers the lead. Could not get a ticket to get inside Ross-Ade Stadium today. It has been a wild scene. waited an awful long time. Ashante Woodyard's going to have to come and help out. That will give you an indication. Actually, I think that's more of a bad tee than it is a big wind gust that were forecast today that probably put a little bit of a scare into the Purdue faithful. But Drew Brees in that offense, it has not been a problem so far. This one ends up, and I'm not sure intentionally, squibbed on the ground. Picked up by Dwayne Hogan. Down he goes at the 30. Thanks for checking in with us here today. It was a week last week in which Purdue had an opportunity to go to the Rose Bowl, and Joe Tiller was very disappointed, David, in his performance. Drew Brees has not had the best of Novembers, but he's looked very sharp in the first two possessions here today.
He's gotten off to some slow starts the last 3 or 4 weeks, but I've been impressed early in this football game. He's made some good decisions in the pocket, and he's getting some great help from Montrell Lowe, his tailback. 4 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown.
His teammate, Drew Brees' teammate Ike Moore, told him, we're in the Ohio State game. You break it, you fix it. Last week, it was broken again for Purdue, but they can fix it in style here today. Lewis hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward 4 yards. Now, unlike the election, no Supreme Court, no recounts, no hanging chads. What is on the line is very simple today. The loss by Ohio State, the win by Northwestern means that Northwestern is in the on-deck circle should Purdue fall short here today. Does Drew Brees still have an opportunity to win the Heisman Trophy? Probably depends more on what Josh Heupel and Chris Weinke do the rest of the way. But taking your team to the granddaddy will look pretty good on the resume. Randall L. reverses direction to LeBron Williams, a great pass catcher out of the backfield, but there's that speed of the Purdue defense. Chris Clapton, little corner, comes up to get him.
Now, LeBron Williams, number 5, actually came to Indiana as a wide receiver. In fact, in his first year played wide receiver, had an over 21 yards per catch average. Now he's become a pretty dangerous back, coming out of the backfield, catching passes. That time, though, Purdue, great speed, pursuing from sideline to sideline, a real defensive strength. And Indiana looking at third down.
Have yet to convert. Miss, failed on their first third down opportunity. Antoine Randall L. pumps once, creating time, throws it back over the middle of the field, and threw a little bit too far back across his body for LeBron Williams, or maybe even for Darren Graham to come back and get it. But you see what Antoine Randall L. does. The longer he is running around back there, the more options open up for Cam Cameron's club.
Yeah, and on that last play, Antoine Randall L. had an opportunity to pick up the first down. He had a lot of room out to the right side, elected to gear down a little bit before the line of scrimmage, tried to throw it all the way back across the field to Darren Graham, the junior. Didn't have enough mustard on it. And once again, the Hoosiers forced to punt the ball away.
Antoine Randall L. punted the first time. We'll do that from time to time today. Vinny Sutherland, who beat the Hoosiers with a punt return for a touchdown last year, has it here, and he's got a good start. Sutherland, who has made some huge plays all year long, sets the Boilermakers up with great field position when we return.
Hey there. Time for a holiday. So switch off your computers and take a national holiday with National Car Rental. Spend some time with National Heroes. Or visit a national treasure. Or join the National Football League. But wherever you go, let National Car Rental get you there fast. With special low rates on compacts for only $149 per week in Florida and $159 per week nationwide. National Car Rental. What are you waiting for? Let's go.
The 16-valve twin-cam Grand Am SE. Built with the enduring strength of hydroformed steel. Because only the strong survive. The Grand Am was solid form design. Grand Am by Pontiac.
Big on taste, but low on cash? Try the new 99-cent BK Cravers menu from Burger King. 8 mouth-watering choices at an unbelievable price. Like the delicious flame-broiled Bullseye Barbecue Deluxe Burger, tasty chicken tender sandwich, or cheesy mozzarella sticks. Just 99 cents every day at Burger King, where you can get great-tasting food every day. Got the urge?
College football on ABC Sports, brought to you by the 2001 Aztec from Pontiac, quite possibly the most versatile vehicle on the planet. By Chili's, ranch hand filet, tender, juicy, flame grilled, and served on a bed of awesome blossom strings. Courtyard by Marriott, the hotel designed by business travelers and by National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Let's go.
Smoking areas have been provided near gate A and gate F.
This group is hoping to go, hoping to make the biggest trip in their lives as fans of this Purdue program on January 1st to Pasadena. They thought it was all there for them last week, but everyone was slapped back down with the loss to Michigan State. It's been a very business-like week. Optimism has been put in check, but faith in that man is still at an all-time high.
Yeah, and really key in this football game, especially with Antoine Randall on the field. Purdue, if they can jump out to an early lead, that'll alleviate a lot of the pressure that you feel in a Rose Bowl clinch type effort.
No backs. Brees loves to throw to Stratton out of that set. Close to a first down, but short down to the Indiana 43. Nine on the catch for Stratton. Brees has started 3 of 6. And they're actually going to measure to see if there's going to be a first down. Well, coming up next Saturday, Thanksgiving Saturday on ABC Sports. How about this for a big game? Guess who's back in the BCS title race? Crashing the party. It's Bob Davies Irish. They have got an excellent opportunity here. If they win 9 games, and that would be for their 9th win if they beat Rutgers today, and they finish in the top 10, which you'd think they would. If they win those 2 games and they're ranked 11 right now, they automatically go to a BCS game.
Yeah, they win that game, and they take care of business today. I look at them as pretty much a lock to walk into one of those 4 big postseason bowl games, the BCS bowl games, and Joe Tiller looking to get a piece of one of those games as well.
Of course, ABC Sports is the home of your Bowl Championship Series games. All the big ones will be right here. Lowe has the first down. He's got enough. For the first time today, we check in at Times Square Stadium with John Saunders. He's got the Civil War.
It's the Burger King update. Oregon State. Which of these 2 teams could be headed to the Rose Bowl? Presented by AT&T. Jonathan Smith to Robert Prescott for the touchdown. Second hookup of the day. And Oregon State has grabbed an impressive 14-0 lead.
All right, John, it is going to be really difficult for Oregon to go in there and win. I mean, they're going to have trouble scoring 14 points, I think, the rest of the game. Low on the pitch. He's inside the 40. Oregon State is so tough defensively, and Oregon is too, but already down 14 on the road. And of course, the Rose Bowl, you know the scenario there. If Oregon loses that game, they are out of the Rose Bowl race. It will either be Oregon State or Washington, if Washington can beat Washington State in the Apple Cup later on.
Yeah, the Ducks have had a lot of problems offensively. Maurice Morris, their JC transfer tailback, got off to a hot start, but that offense has been in a bit of a funk. And Oregon State, the #1 offense in the Pac-10 and the #1 defense as well.
On second down, the play action, Brees rolling. The concentration of Brees, as they will call this, incomplete, is something special. When he is under pressure, the way he was under pressure there, he has the knack that great quarterbacks do. They're able to hang in there that 1 extra last second and create himself an opportunity at least to complete a pass.
A lot of opposing coaches talk about his accuracy. I think he's a more accurate passer when he's moving and when he's buying time in the pocket. He's certainly displayed that kind of capability in the 4th quarter against Ohio State. I mean, he made 3 or 4 plays in that game moving in the pocket that were as good a plays as I've seen from the quarterback position all year long.
2 men moving at the same time on the offense. Penalty declined. 3rd down.
In football, both college and NFL, if you have 2 men moving offensively before the snap of the football, they have to come to a dead stop for a count. And that was not the case for Purdue on the last play. 5-yard penalty assessed.
Purdue has converted 1 of their 2 chances here on 3rd down early.
Stay back.
Brees on the run, creating extra time for himself, and he's got the true freshman Stanford for another first down inside the red zone.
And this is one of those don't try it at home type throws. Brees on the move, full speed to his right. He's going to throw it all the way back across the field. And you have to have the moxie, the experience, and also the nerve of a burglar, which Drew Brees obviously has, to try to make this throw, especially in a game this big. Another great play on the move for Brees, and a nice job by Staniford to find that little void in the zone defense.
Joe Gonzalez, a nickel back here against Purdue, is the one who made the stop. Brees, plenty of time, throws it for Sutherland, just a little too far for him. Johnny Anderson over there on the coverage. He is the free safety. And Sutherland was all alone, my friend. That was a free safety coming to get him.
And when you break down tape of Drew Brees, he'll give you some misfires, and he typically gives them to you on some of these rhythm routes. See, Sutherland didn't want to move upfield into the safety, into a hard spot. So what he did was he slowed things down, gave Brees a nice picture along the sideline, and Brees just flat out missed it.
Stratton, the tight end, lined up as a wide receiver. Plenty of time for Brees. He's got Sutherland this time short. And that is the Purdue passing game. People think Purdue and Brees, he's throwing the ball down the field all day. That is the Purdue offense. That last play right there. They're all short little routes.
Now, they don't have a receiver that averages more than 16 yards a catch, but in this football game, with the Rose Bowl on the line, you want to be safe with the football, especially in the red zone. As a quarterback, if you're Drew Brees, you're thinking, I want to come away with 3 points. I got that field goal in my back pocket. A touchdown is just icing on the cake.
Dorsch, remember, missed an extra point earlier. It'll be a short field goal if they don't convert. Guess what? They do. Stratton, touchdown. They had to punt on their first possession, but Drew Brees is picking them apart right now. Missed the first, gets the second. They're nearly 1/4 of the way there.
Have your bags been in your possession since you packed them? Did you know your company's stock just jumped 13%?
No.
Did you know Geldman got food poisoning and can't make the meeting?
What?
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to check your email before you board.
How?
Here. It's the Sprint PCS Wireless Web for Business. You can access your company's network, use email, share information in real time. And the calls are clear.
Thanks.
Thank him.
The Sprint PCS Clear Wireless Workplace. Because business can't wait.
And then she took it. Boil it first. Never in 9 years have I ever done that.
In 3 days, the X-Men are coming.
We're not what you think.
With 10 minutes of never-before-seen footage, X-Men.
Mutants are very real, and they are among us.
Buy it on video and DVD, November 21st.
It's as digital as documents get. Digital copiers, network printers, color imaging. Kyocera is where documents are going.
A Kyocera Document Solutions company.
Go! Let's go, man. Get up. Don't be lazy. Let's go.
Florida takes on Florida State tonight on ABC.
Forget my 2 front teeth. How about 2 front row seats? At the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. The game has started exactly the way the folks at Ross-Ade Stadium hoped it would. Indiana all year long has stopped teams on their first defensive drive, but afterwards it is all fallen apart. There are only 114 teams in the country, folks, and when you start seeing triple digits next to your ranking on those defensive numbers, that means you're giving up an awful lot of points. Graham and Carter back deep. They bobble it again up to one of the... Bobble it up short. Again, it is Hogan. Out to the 40. Good field position for Randall L. Down by 13.
Meet the all-new Aztec. Meet Sam and Kate. They're about to...
Is that loud enough? Crank it. Aren't we swingers? Definitely. 2, 1. Whoops. Guess I'm just not a swinger.
Next day.
Have a revelation.
It's looking like another sick day.
What are you thinking about?
Fish. Breakfast is swimming in.
What do you want to do today?
Stay in and watch television.
Meet Aztec. Quite possibly the most versatile vehicle on the planet. By Pontiac.
Well, now, Mr. Norrie, of the Indiana Hoosiers, all year long, your best quarter has been the first quarter. Now, with a rose petal as the stakes, you trail the Boilermakers by 13 here.
Yeah, the turnover by Randall L. with no score, really a big factor early in this game, and really gave Purdue a lot of confidence midway through the first quarter.
Out of the eye. Here comes Randall L. He's got plenty of time. He's got his fullback, Jeremy Johnson, who is up near an Indiana first down. He is a big old horse. Well, Monday night, it's a must-win situation now. You got to think for the Washington Redskins. They face the St. Louis Rams. Deion Sanders and Bruce Smith will be in for a track meet trying to contain Trent Green and all those receivers who I think are still running around on the Giants after last week. Monday Night Football, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, right here on ABC. There's the number. That is their best number. The first quarter. It has been the best one for Cam Cameron. Usually opposing defenses are having difficulty trying to adjust to what Antoine Randall L. is throwing at them. I know they're going left here as the fullback's in motion. Randall L. with that late pitch to Brian Lewis. He's got room. Schweigert chasing him, gets him out at the 20. Great speed on the saving tackle by Schweigert, but Antoine Randall L., you think that Drew Brees is a riverboat gambler. Randall L. is the same way with that pitch.
Yeah, this is really the only quarterback in the nation that can get away with this. I mean, he leaps the defender, lands squarely on 2 feet, and ditches the ball outside with the left hand. I mean, what a play from an option quarterback. Now, let's just take a look at the pitch. He's going to leave his feet. He's going to briefly return to the ground, and a double-handed pitch. Unbelievable play by number 11.
He is a Y2K quarterback. He is a point guard, plain and simple. Playing quarterback. Gaddis is the receiver in motion. Randall L. drops back for the first time, swings it neatly to Leveron Williams, and he is pursued well. Indiana, with their trickery and with Randall L., often have an advantage going to the outside like that, but remember, Purdue has that great speed and youth on defense.
Now, this is a nice decision by Randall L. He's trying to take a crack down the field to Dorsey. He doesn't have his man, the discipline to just swing the ball out to his second choice, Williams. And Williams, a nice job running with the football after the catch.
15 minutes are in the books at Ross-Ade Stadium. Antoine Randall L. and company will be uphill. ABC Sports presentation of college football returns after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Hurry, the sun. I can't handle this thing.
It's times like these I wish I had a Pontiac Grand Prix.
Nothing tracks the road quite like wide track handling.
Should we stop?
Not in this neighborhood.
Wider is better. The wide track Grand Prix.
National Car Rental presents Drive for the National Championship. In the 1990 season, Coach Bobby Ross and Georgia Tech faced mighty Nebraska in the Citrus Bowl. Yellow Jackets running back and MVP William Bell sealed the Cornhuskers' fate with 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. Georgia Tech finished the season as the only unbeaten team, sharing the national title that year with Colorado. This year's national champion will be crowned in the title game of the Bowl Championship Series.
Hey there, time for a holiday. So switch off your computers and take a national holiday with National Car Rental. Spend some time with National Heroes. Or visit a national treasure. Or join the National Football League. But wherever you go, let National Car Rental get you there fast. With special low rates on compacts for only $149 per week in Florida and $159 per week nationwide. National Car Rental. What are you waiting for? Let's go!
At Marsh, we're known for freshness and great value. But do you know what we're most proud of? We're proud to be part of what makes this community great. If it's good for families, Marsh is there.
What 6 News hidden cameras caught at local food buffets, Monday at 5.
A win for Indiana today, Sam Cameron and their players say, would not salvage their season, but it would send the seniors off in the right direction and set the tone for that man's club with that quarterback at the helm next year. A big play in this game to this point is Randall L's fumble in quarter number 1 when this was a scoreless game and Indiana was driving on their second possession. Randall L keeps it, has a gap, and is down near a first down. Both teams failed on their first possession in this game, but on their second possession, Indiana was driving after some long runs by Antoine Randall L, but here he gets locked up by Gilbert Gardner, puts it on the ground, Adele the recovery, and then back-to-back touchdown drives engineered by Drew Brees.
Yeah, Brees, a nice job making some decisions in the pocket, moving, some accurate throws downfield, and then the 13-zip lead after the Stratton touchdown catch. A nice little corner route by number 89. The ball was delivered right on the money.
Montrell Lowe, the first touchdown. Tim Stratton, the second for Purdue. Antoine Randall L, if he had a huge day through the air today, could make another piece of NCAA history and wander into territory no one has ever wandered into before. Lewis tries to cut and pays the price. Did he get hammered? Ralph Turner came up and whacked him at the line of scrimmage.
Now, this is a heck of a job by a strong safety coming up into the hole and getting physical with a big tailback. The blocking is pretty good up front, but Turner sticking his nose up in there. Indiana right now, Sean, going with the dose of 2 tight ends. And remember, Michigan State had the most success over the last 4 or 5 games against this Purdue defense. The Spartans lined up and ran it right at the Boilermaker defense.
With the 2 tight ends, it means Gaddis is the lone receiver. Randall L gets a block, gets time, end zone, touchdown! Versi Gaddis was all alone near the end line, and the Hoosiers are on the board. You give Randall L an opportunity, and he'll put your lights out.
Cam Cameron, I'm sure, was holding his breath when that football was in the air. Remember last week against Wisconsin, 6-0 lead for Indiana. Just before halftime, Indiana knocking on the door, trying to extend the lead, and the big interception in the end zone thrown by Randall L. Not this time.
Andy Payne adds the extra point, and this game takes on a new complexion. Antoine Randall L and the Hoosiers have arrived. The touchdown pass, the third of the year for Versi Gaddis, as the Hoosiers on the board.
They're the largest creatures on Earth. They've adapted and evolved with strength and determination. The kind of strength that helps the Pacific Life family of companies manage more than $300 billion for its clients. And determination that has guided Pacific Life for 130 years. Size, strength, longevity, offering annuities, insurance, and investments. Use the power of Pacific Life.
With shopping on your MSN homepage, you can search, shop, and compare for televisions, cell phones, video cameras, or whatever else you need.
Coming up next, the Dr. Pepper halftime show.
You make the world taste better.
ever see that movie, You've Got Mail? Where this guy and girl fall in love emailing each other a bunch of times? Anyway, they finally meet face to face, and there's this big romantic kiss. You know the movie I'm talking about? Did you ever see that one? Well, this guy didn't. Ford F-Series Super Duty. Built Ford tough.
He's been a smooth secret agent. Now Leslie Nielsen comes to ABC in another unforgettable role. Santa Who, Sunday 7/6 Central on ABC.
For Indiana. Versi Gaddis, senior who actually already has graduated from Indiana, the best playmaker the Hoosiers have in the wide receiver corps, makes the play that puts Indiana on the board. Andy Payne will kick it off for the first time. Vinny Sutherland and Chris Clopton back deep for Purdue. Very short kick. There are wind issues. A fair catch was called for and then muffed. Jacob Rowe came up, called for that thing. Heard footsteps. We check out the replay. They only had one wide receiver here, and they lost him.
Yeah, and watch Randall L. here. This is where he's so good. Watch him freeze number 53, Sean Phillips, right there. First he's inside, then he escapes to the outside. He keeps track of the danger in the end zone, all the Purdue defenders, and then a perfectly thrown ball to Gaddis. Tough to keep track of a wide receiver when he's working along that end line.
Low back in the game as the tailback. He's got a touchdown in this game already. Try the left side and have 2 or 3 feet.
Well, Sean, when you have one game, a deciding game, to clinch a Rose Bowl berth, it seems like it's never easy. And I've been in Drew Brees' shoes before out west a long, long time ago, but it seems like things just don't happen as you draw them up. There's strange things that happen in these rivalry games, and Purdue, they're just going to have to keep on keeping on with Drew Brees and stick to what got him here.
Wait till the history of this Big Ten season is written. Brees scrambles for a first down. Think we're done here on Rivalry Saturday? Think again, because the biggest one of all is still ahead of us at 8 o'clock Eastern tonight. Chris Winkie, flu-like symptoms this morning, did not feel well at all last night, but as of this afternoon, he was good to go. Florida and Florida State, and needless to say, I wonder if that game is going to be in prime position. It will go to the BCS on Monday, of course. Miami will be in the mix. Will Florida State, with a win, would they jump over Miami in the BCS? Brees, quick out. Stanford, first down. They can make it look so easy sometimes. They are so pleased with this 6'4" true freshman, John Stanford.
What was really nice about that release from Drew Brees, of course, he gets good time from this talented offensive line, a great group of pass protectors, but Brees just took a little bit off that ball to the outside. And that's what you look back at the great quarterbacks over time, guys like Joe Montana, they never throw the ball any harder than they have to.
That's 11 first downs now. Stanford again. Orlando Spencer with a dime back comes to get him, and Stanford did not appreciate the velocity of the hit.
Yeah, regardless of what happened with the Indiana player after that tackle, the young player, Stanford, he's got to keep his wits about him. And a 15-yarder can stall a drive. Stanford's had a heck of a year nonetheless, though, as a true freshman. 3 of these Purdue receivers, Stanford, Sutherland, Stratton, all with 50 catches on the year coming into this game.
These are amazing numbers. He's on second down. He is just sitting back there. This one comes right back to it. And it will end up being a 1-yard play. And the roar goes up from the crowd as the public address announcer quite lyrically announces Drew Brees pass complete. Pause to Drew Brees.
I'll tell you what, usually when he's a pass receiver, he's on the receiving end of passes from Vinny Sutherland. 3 career touchdown catches from Sutherland. This time he's looking for the quick slant to the right side. Ball deflected in the air. Nice play to pick up the reception and set up a 3rd and short.
The kind of play you think Indiana would have in for Randall L. bank it off something, pass it back to himself. Brees over the middle. There's his guy, Vinny Sutherland. It's another first down. They are in cruise control right now. 40% of Sutherland's catches come on third down.
But Vinny Sutherland is so good against man-to-man coverage. And this Indiana Hoosier defense will usually give you zone. They're looking at a zone right here. And you take a look at Anderson, number 13, the free safety breaking on the ball. But Vinny Sutherland, a nice job of running the route, gearing down in that little hole in the zone defense. And once again, Brees is on the money.
Indiana's defense giving up so many yards this year. Purdue about to go over 200 here in the first half. Montrell Lowe has a healthy chunk, 4, maybe 5 on first down. Well, not unlike the BCS, which is going to be down to 1 pretty soon. It is all down to one final night. 2 contestants, one really big surprise. The Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Celebrity Edition. Well, Alec Baldwin, how could you not know that? This is the one you don't want to miss. Tomorrow at 9/8 Central on ABC. You were probably invited to participate, but you weren't fast enough in the lightning round to get into the chair to pose against Regis.
I'll tell you what, those celebrities are already making enough money. How can they put them on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
I believe there's some sort. It has to. I believe there's some sort of charitable
Sean, you and I
situation.
deserve to get on one of those shows.
You'd have no shot. Come on. You'd lock up on one of those answers, wouldn't you?
No, those dollars go to charity, but still.
Sutherland, who is the man far out to the left, caught the last ball on third down. You know Brees will look for him first, regardless of the play call. He's looking that way, throws that way, but instead it's Standiford short, and he's got the first down.
Tackled by Anderson at the 28-yard line.
Well, Sean, so many weapons on this offense for Brees, and Vinny Sutherland is not always the first choice, but he's a guy who tends to get open a lot, and Brees will work a progression. He'll start with a number 1 choice, he'll come to 2, 3, sometimes 4 progression reads, and that time he ducks the ball down underneath into the flat. And what a job Brees does just keeping the chains moving for this Purdue offense.
What may be remembered as the biggest catch in Purdue history, the long touchdown to Morales against Ohio State, was a 4th progression read for Brees.
Stay back, big guy. Stay back, big guy.
End zone. Picked off. Sherrod Wallace. Brees gambled again, threw across his body, and picks one off in the end zone. Just the 4th interception all year for James Bell's defense. Indiana last in the nation in interceptions, and they come up with a huge one here in the end zone. They still trail by only 6. 2nd interception of the year for Wallace.
Escape. It's not what you do for a living, it's what you live to do. Ford Outfitters, no boundaries.
Your turn.
Oh, baby back, baby back, baby back. Chili's baby back. Barbecue sauce.
What's up, Pierre?
Sama!
Konnichiwa!
Konnichiwa! Who's a biggie? Who's a boogie?
Now you can learn how to say what's up in 36 different languages. Just visit Budweiser.com today and learn useful phrases like "Was ist los?" "Que pasa?" Instantly bond with your fellow man the world over.
Yo, telephone.
Hello?
Tava! Who's a boogie?
Konnichiwa!
So I walk into a Chili's and I see these boneless buffalo wings. And I say, "How did you get the bones out?" And they say, "That was the easy part. Finding a buffalo with wings, now that took some effort."
Remember the wild card today, David Norrie? The wind.
Yeah, and Brees is going to escape to the right side. He's looking for Morales. And once again, he's going to throw the ball back against the grain, but this time he's working into the wind. And that ball hangs up for a while. Wallace is the best cover corner for Indiana, and he makes a great play on the ball in the end zone.
Boilermakers offense was rolling, but this is only a 6-point game, and it's back in the hands of Antoine Randall L., and he is more dangerous than you can imagine. Schweiger makes the tackle across the ankles as Randall L. had crossed the first down barrier and was eyeing a lot more.
And Purdue as a defense has seemed to solve the outside option when Randall L. threatens the perimeter and makes a pitch to tailback. So now they're having Antoine Randall L. duck up inside after the fullback fake. Those fullbacks are talented ball carriers, and they pose a threat to the inside of the Purdue defense. And Antoine Randall L. very quick starting and stopping as a runner.
He's now gone over 1,200 rushing yards as a quarterback. Don't forget, in the college game, sacks count as rushing yards. So all those negative plays count even in the 1,200 yards. And here he is again. He's got another 7. He has an opportunity today, very unlikely. He would have to throw for another 300 yards to become the first quarterback ever to rush for 1,000 and throw for 2,000 in the same season. There are records like that Randall L. has either broken or is about to break all the way down the line.
And these fullbacks are not only ball carriers, they're pretty physical blockers. That's Hogan, number 26, and they can also bring Jeremy Johnson in the game, number 1. We've already seen him, a 275-pound fullback, lining up in the backfield for the Hoosiers.
There are better fullbacks possibly in the Big Ten, as Randall L. will grab a timeout, but I'm not sure anyone has 2 better fullbacks than Indiana does.
And if your name is Arla Beaver, check the Jumbotron.
College football on ABC Sports is brought to you by the Ford F-Series. The best-selling trucks are built Ford tough. By Pacific Life, annuities, insurance, investments. Use the power of Pacific Life. By BASF. We don't make a lot of the products you buy. We make a lot of the products you buy better. And by Dell. It has been a wintry atmosphere here in West Lafayette the last couple of days. On that last touchdown, the throw by Randall L., yet another extraordinary record.
The statistics on this guy are just ridiculous. And as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, the first player all time to go over 2,500 yards in his first 3 seasons, total offense. And you can do nothing defensively, Sean, in practice all week long to simulate the speed and the execution of Antoine Randall L. You just have to really try to prepare, and then you try to get acclimated once you see him in a game situation.
That was Rick Leach of Michigan, by the way, the other one to do it. But you all probably knew that. Good one for the Wolverines today. They have done it to John Cooper again. Lewis, big hole opened up by the Indiana front, and another first down. A much maligned group, an offensive line, when Hal Hunter got them at the beginning of the year as the offensive coordinator. He didn't know what kind of production he was going to get from this group, and while some pressure is taken off them because they're an option team primarily, they have become a much improved straight-ahead blocking team.
Yeah, they've only given up 9 sacks in 10 games, and remember, 4 of the 5 offensive linemen had not played a snap of Division 1A football prior to this season. Pretty unbelievable.
Randall L. gets those legs going. There is a flag down here, and in fact, as Randall L. had nobody between him and the end zone, they will roll the thing down right now.
Boy, is he fun to watch, even on plays that have been blown dead.
Fire the snap. Full start on the offense. 5 yards. Repeat, first down.
And this is a little snapshot at just a couple of the moves that number 11 lines up for you. I mean, I wonder if how many of our viewers remember a guy that used to play running back for the Minnesota Vikings, Chuck Foreman. He used to make that reverse spin move in the open field, and Antoine Randall L. makes it look like his own.
He didn't do it that quick. Aaron Graham is the receiver in motion. The other amazing part to me, David, of Antoine Randall L. is his durability for a player his size. 5'9", 5'10", 195 pounds. Remember, as an option quarterback and a guy who runs 20 times a game, he is taking hits constantly throughout the game. And I don't mean those touch hits that sometimes you get as a quarterback at the end of a pass, but I mean, he's getting pounded on throughout an afternoon, and he's like a tune. He always bounces right back up.
5'10", 194 pounds, and he gets up after some big hits that a lot of other quarterbacks would not return to the game for.
Let's see what he's got here on 2nd and long. How about 2nd and longer after the motion?
Penalty markers on the play.
Enoch DeMar, the right tackle, jumped back out of his stance. This is going to be 2nd and 20.
Right into the snap. Full start on the offense. 5 yards. Still 2nd down.
Well, rivalry week continues. It's not just a one-day thing, you know. On Friday, things kick off at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Colorado faces Eric Crouch at number 10 Nebraska. What a great game that was last year. Then at 3:30 Eastern, number 23 Texas A&M takes on number 15 Texas, all right here on ABC Sports, home of the Bowl Championship Series. And it is a very emotional day. This is the one-year anniversary of the tragic accident at the bonfire site. The Texas A&M game, in which those 12 were honored a year ago. Antoine Randall tries to escape, can't, and it's going to be 3rd in the cab ride.
But Purdue does a nice job defensively of containing Antoine Randall. And we visited with Brock Spack yesterday, the defensive coordinator for Purdue. He said, hey, number 1, we got to stop the option. And number 2, and maybe even more importantly, in 2nd and long and 3rd and long situations, we cannot allow Antoine Randall to get outside the pocket. Purdue with the pass rush. You get a look at Brock Spack right there. Did a nice job on that last play of containing number 11.
And Brock Spack watched Antoine Randall tear him apart on 3rd and long in last year's game for the Buckeyes. Randall throwing deep, very deep, too far for everybody. Schweiger, the free safety, was the closest one to it.
Shante Wood, your number 7, trailing Henry Frazier up the right sideline, and could have been lucky not to get hit with the flag. Woodyard stumbled a little bit into the legs of Frazier. Officials ruled it incidental contact, and once again, Drew Brees is going to get a chance to operate.
Ryan Hamry, true freshman punter. The kick to Vinny Sutherland. Snap is high, under pressure. Sean Phillips almost got that one. Sutherland comes up to call a fair catch, and in a good field position again for Drew Brees. We talked about Florida State. John Saunders, what about Oklahoma today?
Well, John, Oklahoma, of course, facing Texas Tech, looking to get to the Big 12 championship game. Josh Heupel to Trent Smith, 6 yards, 14-3 is the lead. By the way, Heupel today became Oklahoma's career total offense leader.
And John, 2 years ago, he was playing at Snow Junior College.
That is unbelievable. And let's take a look at this last punt. If Sean Phillips, number 53, times this up a little bit better, he gets a block. And I think he kind of gave it the alligator arms there, short-armed it. If he extends out a little bit, he may come up with a block.
Like David Norrie reaching for a check at dinner. Came up with the alligator arms.
That's chili.
You'll eat those baby back ribs, but as soon as the check comes, start flailing around. You're always making a call or something's going on. I don't know where you are when the check comes.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sean, this has been a pretty evenly matched football game. If you take out of play the fumble by Antoine Randall, and for a second there it looked like Purdue was going to run away and maybe hide with a 13-zip lead, but Indiana, they've accounted for themselves pretty well in the first half of this ballgame.
Who's moving the ball? They have over 200 yards of offense. They've got 7 yards of play. Those are solid numbers. Brees gets it away, incomplete. A.T. Simpson was the intended receiver, but Brees, who was on the run, threw it a little bit behind him. You mentioned the Indiana offensive line and their protection of Antoine Randall. This number is simply mind-boggling. Now, Purdue has thrown the ball 460 times this year. The offensive line has allowed only 8 sacks.
Less than 2% of the time. And what a tribute to the offensive line, and a great job by Matt Light, as we said, that blindside tackle protecting the senior quarterback.
Purdue's a great third down team because it's usually 3rd and short. This is 3rd and 9, but it's no problem. Seth Morales has a first down out at the 49.
Brees pass complete to Seth Morales at the 49.
By now, you are very familiar with the Seth Morales story.
Yeah, well, Joe Gonzalez, number 25, is the nickelback. Ron Bethel, the strong safety. And watch Morales sit down right in between. He bisects them. You know, offensive coaches talk about receivers bisecting the underneath defenders, finding kind of an equidistant spot, sitting down in that hole. And what a perfectly thrown ball by Drew Brees.
Seth Morales, a walk-on transfer, played last year, played his freshman year at non-scholarship Butler University. Everyone told him, don't walk on here. He did, and he might go to the Rose Bowl.
Big on taste, but low on cash? Try the new 99-cent BK Cravers menu from Burger King. 8 mouth-watering choices at an unbelievable price, like the tasty chicken tender sandwich, delicious flame-broiled bullseye barbecue deluxe burger, or zesty jalapeno poppers. Just 99 cents every day at Burger King, where you can get great-tasting food every day. Got the urge?
Did you ever see that movie, You've Got Mail? Where this guy and girl fall in love emailing each other a bunch of times? Anyway, they finally meet face to face, and there's this big romantic kiss. Do you know the movie I'm talking about? Did you ever see that one? Well, this guy didn't. Ford F-Series Super Duty. Built Ford tough.
The family computer. It's hard to imagine a day without it, which is why more people are putting their trust in Dell, the company awarded for best PC reliability and service 7 years in a row.
Computer free.
When you order a Dell Dimension desktop with an Intel Pentium 3 processor for $849,
I guess I'll go wash the windows.
Dell provides you with online training. And of course, you'll also get Dell's lifetime 24/7 phone and online support.
See that?
If you should need more help in your first year of ownership, Dell will even send a repair technician to your home. Dell's service and support helps you get the most out of your PC. That is, when you can get on it. 1 year of AOL membership included with the purchase of a new Dell home system. So call now to own a complete Dell Dimension system with an Intel Pentium 3 processor and everything you see here for only $849. So order two, then you're sure to get some time online.
Promotional consideration provided by National Car Rental, the official car rental company of the Bowl Championship Series on ABC.
Let's go!
The winner of this game will take home the old Oaken bucket, and more importantly, they will get a link with the first initial of their school added onto the chain that is connected to it. A lot of stories about the bucket. It's Stanley Cup-like in its lore of things that have happened to it. It's disappeared, reappeared. It's become a symbol of this rivalry over the last 75 years. As a very late flag comes, way back in the secondary, the unsportsmanlike conduct, there has been some conversation going on between these two squads in the first quarter and a half.
Personal foul against Indiana, so tack on 15.
On Monday night, Washington Redskins got to have this one as they go into the TWA Dome. Deion Sanders, Bruce Smith, in for a track meet. They got to try to stop Trent Green better than the New York Giants did. Monday Night Football live, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific on ABC.
Now, James Bell, the defensive coordinator for Indiana, talked about making Drew Brees go a long ways, and 15-yard penalties, not a good way to get that done.
Randolph is the tight end in motion there, setting it up for Lowe. Only problem for tight end, when you see the extra tight end in there, it usually is a pretty good indication. going to run the football, and they do to Lowe. Justin Smith, not yet been a factor, probably their most talented defensive player, a junior linebacker. He's got 6 sacks, 4 of them came against Iowa, moved around from strong safety. He put a hit on Travis Cole of Minnesota towards the end of that game, forcing the fumble. It sealed the game that Travis Cole is still feeling right now. Randolph again in motion. They show run to the right. They run to the right. They're well short here. It's going to be another 3rd down situation upcoming.
We talked about Montrell Lowe, and you hear so much about the passing offense, Drew Brees, the Sutherland, and Stratton, and Staniford, but Montrell Lowe, a very unsung hero on this team. And remember, when Purdue lined up against Michigan earlier this year, Lowe outrushed Anthony Thomas, and against Northwestern, the #1 rusher in the Big Ten, Lowe had more yards than Damian Anderson. Both games he went over 100 yards.
You see the very healthy 3rd down conversion numbers, and you can ring up another one. Brees is elusive. Now, you know where they found that old oaken bucket? They found it on a farm like about 75 years ago. It had just been sitting around, presumably, since the Civil War. I mean, there's, you know, who had much use for an old oaken bucket? It was sitting around, and it was referred to as being in a state of disrepair. So you can only imagine what a 50-year-old bucket from the Civil War looked like.
Well, the one thing I observed is that Indiana has some catching up to do with those links.
Brees again will survey it, and he will take timeouts when he feels like it. He doesn't feel the need to conserve them. If the time is right, he will use it. You see, he's got still 2 more to use. Well, coming up at halftime, our guys, John Saunders and Terry Bowden, back at Times Square Stadium. All the scores and highlights from Rivalry Saturday around the country. Plus, we'll preview the big one still ahead tonight between Florida and Florida State. Hope you got your logistical plans for getting your snack on in between this game and the Florida State game, which begins at 8 o'clock Eastern. You will probably have this thing forecast right. Maybe, what would you say, Spaceman? 40, 45 minutes in between those 2 games to get yourself organized, get yourself a sandwich, figure out how you're going to explain to the wife why the errands didn't get done, and then get back in front of the coffee table for Florida State?
Well, the amazing thing is, with all the protesting going on down in Tallahassee over the last couple of weeks, that came to an abrupt end. And what it tells me is that football is a bit more important down in those parts than politics. And that's going to be a thrilling game to watch. It'll be interesting to see if Florida can stick with Florida State. Florida State hurting at that tailback position.
Well, you know what happened. It was, you know, Greta Van Susteren and all those folks got kicked out of their hotel room, so they couldn't report on the outcome. That's why they got to wait till Monday. People are coming in to see the game, where we know how to declare a winner. Again, 2 tight ends for Purdue, and again they run with it. Lowe gets to the 15, but unlike their first possession, the Boilermakers no longer breaking off big chunks of yardage on first down.
Now, we talked to James Bell, the defensive coordinator for Indiana, earlier this week, and of course he came over after a great job at Wake Forest for Jim Caldwell's super season for the Demon Deacons a year ago, and he said, we want to make them go a long ways. We want to take that bend and don't break attitude, and it has really kept them close in this football game. Clock underneath 3 minutes to go in the second quarter, and the score less than a touchdown.
Another run look, but finally they will throw out of it. Brees, end zone, Sutherland, they will mark him out at the 1. He was in the end zone, but had to come back and get it. 1st and goal, Purdue. The other thing Indiana wanted to do today was contain Vinny Sutherland. They had until now.
And Sutherland's working against the best cover corner, Wallace, who had the interception earlier, and Sutherland doesn't look for the touchdown here. It's a smart play. What he does is he comes back to the football. He takes the angle away from the defensive back. You can wait for another play to break the goal line. Make sure of this catch and give your offense a first down inside the 1-yard line. Great play by Sutherland.
On the first try, Steve Ennis will not get in. In fact, he lost a yard. And it's used in goal line situations. How's this for a ratio coming into the final game of the year? 37 carries, 8 touchdowns.
Take a look at Justin Smith over the top, trying to time things up, and it really wasn't Smith that made the play. It's the penetration up front, the front five for Indiana on that goal line defense, getting great penetration in the middle and on the right side, and big loss on the play for Purdue.
Play action, Brees gonna bootleg it in. Too many options for Purdue along the goal line, and they extend the lead late in quarter number 2.
Yeah, this is a little too easy. I mean, Indiana, on a 2nd and goal from the 3.5, 4-yard line, you can't just let the quarterback walk in. And Drew Brees, an underrated runner, he's averaging just under 50 yards per game rushing. And remember, in college football, they add in the sack yardage as well. So pretty impressive numbers on the ground for Brees.
Dorsch makes it 2 out of 3 in extra points, and the lead is 13 again. Antoine Randall has a minute 55 and 1 timeout, but Drew Brees has put Purdue up 20-7.
Now this is the fierce snake, the most venomous snake in the world. One bite from him, and it's all over. No! Oh, no worries, mate. Luckily, we've had the anti-venom sent from America via FedEx. In my line of work, if you're not absolutely sure, you're absolutely dead. Oh, crikey. It appears we've used a different courier who hasn't arrived yet. It's okay because...
It all comes down to this. Ball on the 14-yard line. No timeouts left.
Tostitos? The exhilarating taste of new spicy quesadilla Tostitos chips. It's fun for everyone. Dig in, kick back, Tostitos.
Dr. Pepper, you make the world taste better, yeah. You make the world go around and around. You pick it up, you can't put it down. Dr. Pepper, you make the world taste better. You make the world
With an interception thrown by Drew Brees and Antoine Randall starting to feel it a little bit running Indiana offense, the Hoosiers jump back in this game and trail by only 6 after Randall threw the touchdown that you see to Versi Gaddis. But one minor problem for Indiana, with the exception of the interception, they have been unable to stop Purdue since the Boilermakers' opening possession of this game. They've been very efficient. They are on pace for another 500-yard offensive game, and they are back in control. Graham at the 7. Hits the middle, tries to get to the outside, now cuts back, and he's out to the 40. Darren Graham, who they have not been kicking to, just showed you why.
Yeah, we've talked about special teams all year long and how important they are, especially in the big games. And Indiana has done a nice job with the kick return unit, giving Antoine Randall and his offense some pretty impressive field position to start out.
Randall has thrown for 26 yards, as you see now, and run for 50. Indiana came out on its opening possession, did not run any options, gave Purdue a completely different look, and then they started the game for real on their second possession. And Randall might be the single most dangerous player in the country, and I don't think there is any debate about the following fact. There is no player more valuable to his own team than Antoine Randall is Indiana. Gaddis has the touchdown catch. To the outside goes Randall, makes Clopton miss, and he's got another 8 yards on first down. You just hold your breath, don't you?
Indiana, with Antoine Randall, not the type of offense that's really well equipped for clock drives. And Indiana only 1 timeout remaining. You know, ideally, you want to make throws beyond the first down change to stop the clock, and the clock continues to roll here at 2nd and short.
This time he gambles trying to go to the outside. Sean Phillips stays with him. Gets help from Ashanti Woodyard. That clock will continue to roll on 3rd down. A game in which the Purdue Boilermakers came in riding a lot of emotion. A very frustrating loss last week to Michigan State. But the ever-rare second chance to win a championship was afforded them. They have settled in after their first offensive possession. Drew Brees is in command.
This is a great time here to take a shot down the field, especially with less than 45 seconds on the clock.
Instead, Hogan will get himself a first down that will stop the clock at 35 seconds, as you see, allow Indiana to get set up.
As a quarterback, Antoine Randall, you get the stoppage of the clock. You want to get your team right up to the line of scrimmage. Don't burn that last time out. Still enough time to get in field position here to cut that lead potentially to 10.
Because here is where Indiana's style of offense hurts them in clock situations, because they depend so much on the run. Randall flares it out incomplete. That, at the very least, will stop the clock. Realistically, you've got to think they need another 20 yards to even have a decent shot at a field goal. And so far, as you'd expect on the final day of the season, with Randall as your best option, he has been almost their only option.
Yeah, he's the guy that you want keeping the football when you talk about option distribution. But as you look back over the course of this first half, not very successful for Cam Cameron. Only 7 points on the board. This Indiana offense has been in the top 10 in the country all season long.
That one pitch you saw came very late in the sequence, too. It was already past the line of scrimmage when he pitched it. Randall throw it, flare it, end zone. Graham, incomplete. Making Dorsey down there.
Incomplete in the end zone.
Stops the clock again. Remember now, Indiana has a timeout.
Well, this is the aspect of Randall game that really worries opposing defensive coordinators. Breaking through the rush, and he's as good throwing the ball, moving back to the line of scrimmage as he is moving to his right or his left. Just about 2 or 3 feet on the overthrow, but a lot of people here at Ross-Ade holding their breath with that football in the air.
Andy Payne has kicked 2 Indiana field goals of longer than 50 yards. From here, though, it would be 60. Indiana needs another 10 yards, and they have the timeout to use.
Stay back, stay back.
Randall will take it out of bounds. That's going to do them no good.
Randall the ball carrier.
They will give Randall a shot at the end zone. Now, either that or a 58-yard field goal.
And only one thing left to do here, take a shot with a Hail Mary down the football field on the last play of the half.
Don't forget, coming up, the MSN halftime report, featuring our guys, John Saunders and Terry Bowden. It's coming up next, and what a day. Get the scores and the highlights. It's already been a wild day. What does John Cooper have to do to beat Michigan? Randall has the 3 receivers. He's going to have room and time to throw it down there. Out of the end zone it goes. Ashanti Woodyard was there to defend it. Drew Brees runs it in himself to give his club a 13-point lead at the break. We'll return with the MSN halftime report with John and Terry after this message and a word from our ABC station.
This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckons, I never reckon second best. When I look back, I will recall moment for moment, the greatest moment of them all.
Purdue last clinched the Rose Bowl in the bucket game against Indiana on this same day off by 1, November 19th, 1966. They beat Indiana. Today, they are 30 minutes away because of these 2 first-quarter touchdowns. First, Montrell Lowe scoring for Purdue from 12 yards out, and then Drew Brees' touchdown pass to the tight end, Tim Stratton. A missed extra point made it 13-0. Antoine Randall got settled in the game, wreaked all kinds of havoc on both sides of the field, running the option, and threw this touchdown pass to Mercy Gaddis to make it 13-7. But Drew Brees calling his own number, running the bootleg to make it 20-7, and Purdue is halfway home. We check out the Morgan Stanley Dean Witter first half stats. Indiana is a team, David, with a staggering total, 5.8 yards per rush play this year. They've improved on that with 143 yards on the ground in the first half, yet still they trail by 13.
Yeah, only 26 yards passing for Antoine Randall, only 4 of 10. And that big turnover by Antoine Randall as well. And when you're playing a high-scoring offense like the offense for Drew Brees, you can't afford to waste opportunities.
And the problems that Drew Brees had over the last couple of weeks were really well documented, particularly in the Michigan State game. Even going into the Ohio State game, he was struggling going into that fourth quarter. But here today, he's probably played a better first half in this game today, in the bucket game here against Indiana, than he has maybe in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, he's gotten off to some slow starts, but he's done everything that he needs to do to take this team to Pasadena. 1 half remaining. He has to keep things clean. He has to take care of the football. No turnovers. And if this Purdue team is allowed to just continue to hit balls, it's going to be awfully tough for Indiana to come back.
Where'd you get those gloves, by the way? Are those on special?
You know, it's the opening of hunting season here today in West Lafayette.
David Norrie will be bringing planes to the gate when this one is over. Sutherland might be bringing this one to the house. He's down the sideline and into Indiana territory. When we talked to the Indiana coaches this week, David, did it seem to you that the player they were most concerned with was Drew Brees, or did it seem like the player they were most concerned with was Vinny Sutherland?
Well, it surprised me. James Bell, the defensive coordinator for Indiana, and the head coach, Cam Cameron, they said that Vinny Sutherland had to be contained. That was their #1 priority in this football game. And if you go back to the 30-24 win for Purdue in the same game a year ago, it was Vinny Sutherland's punt return that was the difference early in the fourth quarter.
Unbelievable acceleration. Compare him to Tim Dwight as a kick return. Montrell Lowe breaks free. And while Indiana's defense continues to bend, you wonder if it's only a matter of time before they break.
This is a huge drive for Purdue, because if Purdue could take this ball down the field and cash in on a touchdown, open up a 20-point lead, that takes all sorts of pressure off your offense and your defense. You can start loosening things up a little bit defensively. You don't have to take risks. And offensively, you can start to work on the clock a little bit.
Purdue has been running when they send the tight end in motion. They do again. Lowe tries to get the corner, but he's running to the short side. And he's got only a couple of yards down to the 24. Montrell Lowe, the first touchdown in this game. Now, weather was going to be a factor last night. The big concern here was not only the cold, and it is cold here, not as cold as it could have been, but not the wind chill, but the wind gusts, which were forecast up to 20-25 miles an hour. It has not been that bad. It has not appeared to affect the Drew Brees passing game, with possibly that one exception, the interception he threw in the end zone.
Well, the wind has actually died down just a touch. It was blowing pretty good before kickoff.
Brees flares another one out. Standiford short of a first down. Well, I'll tell you, if the wind was blowing today like it was when our little 14-seat prop plane was landing in West Lafayette on Thursday, Drew Brees would have been in big trouble.
Well, Drew Brees hasn't been in big trouble with the decisions he's made in the pocket, and he's comfortable coming underneath. He's very comfortable taking those second and short, third and short situations, and one of the big keys here, you've got a lead, you got the Rose Bowl on the line, don't make any mistakes. You know, you got 3 points, as we said, in your back pocket. If you don't convert on the touchdown, go ahead and extend that lead.
We will check the measurement for all the nitpicking that people do. And we'll move the chains again about Drew Brees and the mistakes he's made over the last couple of games, and for some degree, rightly so. There has been no better big game, big moment player than Drew Brees, and this, in its context, is the biggest game not only in his life, but in Purdue football history, and he has played this game the way he has played the fourth quarter of several games throughout the course of this year.
Yeah, that fourth quarter against Ohio State was a jaw-dropper. I mean, he made 3 or 4 plays in the pocket as we look at the quarterback comparison there. He made a couple plays in the pocket, moving around, backing up, keeping himself alive, and making great pass plays down the field.
Sutherland's open. Brees loves him. He has room to run. Cuts back inside the 10. Sutherland that time went out to the far side of the field. And Drew Brees actually was thinking about something else, but could not resist seeing his favorite receiver that wide open.
And Seth Morales, number 84, clearing the way out on an intermediate route. Sutherland underneath, and 14 is so dangerous because he offers you a vertical threat down the field. You can beat the defense with the bomb, but he's also a threat taking that short pass and breaking it for big yardage.
64 catches now in the senior season for Vinny Sutherland. That ball is free. And Indiana's got it. Mile.
And I'll tell you what happened right there, Sean. They thought Indiana was in the neutral zone. The center makes the decision to snap the football, tries to pick up a 5-yard penalty. The only problem was the Hoosiers got back onside. And there was some indecision between Brees and the center. I don't think Brees was expecting the snap. Brees, as a quarterback, saw that the Hoosiers got back onside. And there's another look. The ball just comes free. And Brees backed out just to count early. Chucky Jacoby, he was looking for a 5-yard penalty, and that is a huge play keeping Indiana in this ballgame.
The Hoosiers are down 13, but it could be 27. That is 2 turnovers for Purdue inside the red zone.
Wow.
And as long as number 11 has a breath in his body for Indiana, the Hoosiers are still in this football game. Lewis has a healthy gain on first down. The freshman Brian Lewis has looked unaffected by the magnitude of this game today.
Well, this game right now rests squarely on the shoulders of Antoine Randall. He's going to have one of his biggest halves, and that's saying a lot. The performances he's had over the course of his career at Indiana, but he's going to have one of the biggest halves, if not the biggest half of his career, if the Hoosiers are going to come back in this one.
They show run to the right, but Randall will drop back and then flare it out incomplete. And as soon as we sung the praise of the freshman Brian Lewis, he drops one.
Well, remember we talked about Indiana on defense, playing soft, forcing Brees to hit balls underneath? That's exactly what Purdue's doing on defense right now. Play action passes by Antoine Randall. Anytime he drops back in the pocket and they try to get Dorsey or Gaddis deep, Purdue's keeping a lid on that secondary. They're playing very soft, very deep, and they're forcing Randall to come down underneath.
Crowd alternating between screaming their lungs out and biting their nails. But they know their defense needs help right now. Randall is stopped short. Landon Johnson, yet another freshman, a linebacker for Purdue, steps into the breach.
That's a heck of a play by Landon Johnson, and his entire first year here at Purdue, had a broken vertebrae in his back, and it's kept him out of action. It's kept him out of the weight room. Boy, has he come on in this fall season, and that was a stiff hit. He laid on a Hoosier running back.
Big recruit for Joe Tiller. Almy gets it away. Sutherland waving the arm for the fair catch. Will start the Boilermakers in Indiana territory again, trying to add to their lead.
Everybody's got a tip. Everybody's got a sure thing. Everybody's got a cousin who works with some guy who swears that this baby is it. What everybody doesn't have is the kind of financial confidence that makes it easy to ignore what everyone else is saying. Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. Move your money. Get well connected.
Big on taste, but low on cash? Try the new 99-cent BK Cravers menu from Burger King. 8 mouth-watering choices at an unbelievable price. Like the delicious flame-broiled Bullseye Barbecue Deluxe Burger, chicken tender sandwich, or cheesy mozzarella sticks. Just 99 cents every day at Burger King, where you can get great-tasting food every day. Got the urge?
Welcome to Transmegalith, 268th floor, Information Services Division.
Yes?
We're from Luftgart. We provide enterprise IT consulting.
Please?
ERP, CRM, and ASP management.
Okay.
24/7 apps hosting.
I already have one company for every application my division needs.
How's that possible?
I have Quest.
Communications change everything. Ride the light, Quest.
Looking to save more and spend less this holiday season? With the Jeep Holiday Sale, you can do just that. Because now, when you buy a 2001 Grand Cherokee with 4.9% financing, you can save up to $29.39 in finance charges. Or on Cherokee Sport, save up to $30.36 in finance charges with 3.9% financing. So take advantage of the Jeep Holiday Sale today for savings that let you spend more on a real holiday priority, yourself. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
Let's go, man. Get up. Don't be lazy. Let's go.
Florida takes on Florida State tonight on ABC.
One half of football remains in the 2000 Big Ten season. Season we will remember for a long, long time. Here are the 4 finals from today. With Michigan's win and Northwestern's win, Northwestern would go to the Rose Bowl if Indiana comes back and wins today. Penn State finishes their season, a frustrating season in style. Minnesota becomes bowl eligible by beating Iowa on the final day of the season. Brees keeping his Heisman Trophy hopes alive, completes a short one to Sutherland. Brees now 17 of 24, very efficient. That group is thinking about how much warmer it would be in Pasadena. Probably wouldn't need those little headbands.
It's amazing.
The Rose Bowl.
It's amazing the weather you get around the start of January out in Pasadena. It'll be about 75, 80 degrees. The cheerleaders will have a great time out west if Brees can convert.
Stay back, stay back.
Again, he escapes. Again, makes himself time. This time simply has no options, and he throws it away. Well, it's time. Speaking of the Rose Bowl, for us to ask you our Aflac trivia question. Which Pac-10 or Big Ten team, which team period, has had the longest Rose Bowl drought? Longest span of time in between appearances.
You're going to have to help me with that, Sean. What's a drought?
What's a drought? Well, Joe Tiller,
I guess what
the school that he represents, has had a drought. It's dried up on him.
1966, the last time Purdue went to the Rose Bowl. And it was a January 1st, 67 game, and they were second place in the Big Ten. The no repeat rule, Michigan State won the Big Ten that year.
Sort of a forgotten part of that Rose Bowl puzzle. Stanford, can he get to the marker? You bet he can. First down, Purdue. Well, Stanford's only got 3 more years of eligibility left. How much damage is he going to do by the time he's done?
Yeah, they say he's going to be a great one. And Brees getting some wonderful protection from the big guys up front. Purdue's offensive line is doing a super job. And I'll tell you what, James Bell is going to need a play or two from his defense here in the second half if the Hoosiers have a hope of winning this football game. They're making things way too easy on the Boilermakers offensively.
This could be a lot worse than 20-7 for Indiana. Brees over the middle. It's deflected and very nearly picked off.
Incomplete, intended for Stratton.
Jim Stratton was the tight end that was down there, the intended receiver.
And Johnny Anderson, number 13, has a shot to really clean up on Stratton on this play, and he's a little indecisive on the hit. Ball's delivered high, and you can't help but think that number 89 heard some footsteps. He felt that free safety close.
Well, the day after Thanksgiving, rivalry week continues. ABC Sports is a great doubleheader. Starting at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, Colorado and Nebraska, and then 3:30 Eastern, Texas A&M and Texas. That is one of the most enjoyable games to watch. the entire year. It's all here on ABC Sports, and of course, this is the home of the Bowl Championship Series. And right now, John Staniford is making himself feel at home in the Indiana secondary. 7 catches now for the true freshman.
Yeah, those are the types of plays you have to make at quarterback if you're going to take a team to Pasadena. He's going to hit Staniford right out of his break. And as a quarterback, your vision, you feel Staniford starting to gear down a little bit. He comes out of his break, and the ball's delivered right on time perfectly. That's a front pocket catch. Brees starting to get rolling here in the second half.
He's got plenty of love for his freshman receiver. Brees down to the 6. Purdue leads by 13. They lead by more, but they have already turned it over twice in this part of the field in this game.
Now, the problem is that Purdue's playing so darn well on defense, not giving Indiana any breathing room. And things have been pretty easy on Purdue's offense. They have not faced any sort of urgent situation on offense, and Brees continues to click.
Low, spinning, touchdown. Second of the game for Montrell Lowe. And the Boilermakers inch even closer to Pasadena.
This is not good news for the folks at Northwestern. Light, Murskowski, Akobe, that left side of the offensive line, opening up plenty of daylight, and Purdue extends the lead.
Dorsch adds the extra point. Drew Brees, the commander of the ship, has been in command. A pair of touchdowns for Montrell Lowe. Purdue by 20.
Someday, at a job interview, they'll ask, do you work well under pressure? Try not to laugh.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called?
Aflac. I don't know.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Responsive Chrysler Sebring Performance Sedan. Proof that it's not the destination. It's the drive. Now, during the Chrysler Holiday Sale, lease the Sebring LX Sedan for $259 a month.
College football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Jeep Grand Cherokee with legendary off-road capability. By Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper makes the world taste better. By Sears and the Sears National Champion Football Trophy. And by Burger King. Got the urge? Some travel agents got the urge to make some money here in West Lafayette. This score should hold up. They're no longer trying to keep it away from Darren Graham. Right now, they don't need to. Second effort, Graham is out to the 19. Darren Graham has returned kickoffs for touchdowns each of the last 2 years. Very nearly had one against Kentucky earlier in the year. Great speed. Just a junior. Indiana is going to have some players coming back next year. This is going to be a very intriguing team, of course, with Randall L. as the centerpiece in the year 2001.
Yeah, they got a lot of weapons, and number one weapon, obviously, is number 11. A lot of players back on defense, and Cam Cameron looking for some improvement there. When you talk about this football game, Sean, Indiana right now, the Purdue defense is forcing them to take short underneath balls in the passing game. I think Indiana has to be patient and stay with the option game.
There we go. On the delay, LeBron Williams has just not been a factor. Well, the wonderful world of Disney gets the holidays off to a hilarious start. Who else would you rather see in that hat and beard than Leslie Nielsen? He stars in Santa Who tomorrow at 7, 6 Central on ABC. Surely you can't be serious.
Just don't call me Shirley, Sean.
I call you Elmer Fudd with those big orange gloves you got on today. Maybe a lot of folks aren't going to make it back for Christmas. 44 years is a long time to wait. You got to make it count. Randall L. escapes. He's going to get himself close to a first down. Out near the 30. Might be about a foot or two short.
Well, you're trailing in the game 27-7. And when you're behind by 20 points, your first reaction is to put the ball in the air. The problem is Purdue is forcing Indiana to be patient with the passing game. The Indiana passing game is designed to take big chunks down the field. I mean, when they're faced with 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, they go to the option. They want Randall L. to pick it up on the ground. So when you go to the air and you're always looking for the big play down the field, and you look at a defense like Brock Spack's Purdue unit right now playing so loose and so deep, it's tough for Randall L. to stay disciplined and throw the ball underneath.
Brock Spack's defense next year is going to look awful good. Obviously, the complexion of this team, as far as their national perception, will change when Brees graduates. But they have a ton of talented athletes on the defensive side of the ball, and they have made their presence felt since the opening bell here today. Randall L. has plenty of time and overshoots Jerry Dorsey.
And that was one of the rare times where Randall L. had a receiver open and tried to take off back towards the line of scrimmage. Was not comfortable, just sit in the pocket and keep that back foot loaded. Watch him start back towards the line of scrimmage before the throw, and as a result, the ball sails on him a little bit.
Randall L. is just 4 of 11 throwing the ball in this game. And remember, he completes 48% of his passes, but this offense is not designed for a high completion percentage. There are not a lot of little short passes in it. He's throwing the ball down the field a lot.
No, the passing game for Indiana has not been a factor, and in this game last year, remember, he threw for over 300 yards.
And they took away the run from him. Now Randall L's going to throw deep, and he's got a man, Darren Graham, to the 30.
Randall L's pass complete.
They have desperately been trying to stretch the field, and finally, midway through quarter number 3, they do.
Well, Ralph Turner, number 8, is not going to play this ball very well in the air. This is a pretty good throw by Randall L. to get it out to his receiver, but Ralph Turner, you see number 8 there, did not keep his deep speed, lost track of the ball in the air, and as is the case with a lot of defensive backs at the college level, with the ball in the air, he didn't operate at high efficiency. That's the difference, Sean, between cornerbacks and safeties at the college level and then stepping up to that NFL level.
Randall L. had thrown for only 26 yards until that play. He gets 40 there. And now he will drop back out of the option look. Throw end zone. Intercepted. Stuart Schweigert, the true freshman, just made the biggest play of his life.
And I'm not sure that ball was dead, Sean. Schweigert almost made a huge mistake. I don't think he was out of the end zone. He just dropped the ball. That ball was live in the end zone. Purdue very lucky to pick it up. You talk about a true freshman mistake.
Can we say freshman?
I mean, these are the roses on the line right here. Terrific play, a one-handed catch. You think he's going to... And he did not step out. And he's indecisive coming back. Let's see if we can get a shot of this.
Turner was telling him there not to run out of the end zone.
Antoine Randall L. thinks he's got a man deep, throws the ball a little bit late. Maybe a little bit of a push off there. Tremendous play with the left hand by Schweigert. Now, I don't know, he looks like he's offering somebody a cocktail right there. And he drops the ball on the ground. What a play.
That would have been a Molotov cocktail for Indiana had they picked it up.
What a break.
Tackle by Anderson. 8 of 5 yards.
Kind of begs the question, where were the Hoosiers? Montrell Lowe, just a sophomore, has a couple of touchdowns. John Standiford, a true freshman, a standout day catching the ball for Purdue. He's got 7 catches. And now Stuart Schweigert is on the phone upstairs, and I imagine some of the basics are being run through on that phone call. The top team in the nation, the Oklahoma Sooners, in action. John Saunders, what is up with Oklahoma?
They're up in the Burger King update against Texas Tech. Ronaldo works 5 yards. The Sooners are trying to open up a lead and point to the Big 12 championship game. They lead it right now 21-3. Sean.
All right, John.
It's 3rd down and 3.
Now, in my eyes, right now, it's Heupel, Winky, Brees. But like many states, too close to call at this point. Brees takes one little baby step forward in that race as he has plenty of mustard on it to Stratton for the first down.
Yeah, some people try to question Brees' arm strength. He's got above average arm strength. He does not have a howitzer. He doesn't have a gun. But this is the same route that Stratton scored on in the first half. A corner route, ball delivered just a touch late, but very accurately. And what hands the big guy, number 89, Tim Stratton.
You know, fans in West Lafayette are looking at that clock. They can't go fast enough. They waited 34 years. They're down to 22 minutes. Montrello has had a day to remember. Drew Brees throws the block. All the magical little things are coming into place.
Drew Brees is going to work downfield, but also number 80, A.T. Simpson for Purdue. Kind of the unsung guy, but he gets a nice block there on Floyd. And Lowe, if he keeps his feet, he may have a shot to go all the way. Look at Brees getting down there and working hard.
Johnny Anderson, a free safety.
That's a pretty darn good cut block right there.
Anderson's going to take that number 15 down and try to remember it. Randolph, the tight end, in motion. Another huge hole up the middle, and now battle of attrition is being won at the line of scrimmage by the Purdue Boilermakers, trying to end the 34-year drought. With our Aflac trivia question, which team has the longest Rose Bowl drought? This will be practice for when you're on with Regis. Final answer?
A lot of tears out at Strawberry Canyon over the years. And they haven't, to be fair to it, they haven't come real close. Back in the mid-70s, the Joe Roth quarterback team came pretty close. And on the Big Ten side of things, the longest drought, Minnesota. You had to go back to the 60s for the Gophers, their last trip to the Rose Bowl.
Strange year for the Gophers. Flags are down as Lowe almost got free. His first touchdown of the day looked like it was coming back, but that ended up being offside against Indiana. This time it will come back.
It looked like an illegal shift in the backfield for the Boilermakers.
Well, Monday night, how about this for a marquee matchup in the NFC? I don't know how much better these games can get on Monday night than they've been, but Redskins and the Rams. Redskins have to figure out a way to slow down that passing attack that Trent Green is now running. Monday Night Football live at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. And don't forget, Sunday night game on ESPN. Jaguars and the Steelers.
That game's looking a lot like the NFC Championship preview.
And tell me something, David. Is that a big game tonight?
Well, it's a big game as long as Florida keeps it close. I'm a little worried that the Seminoles, with Winky at the controls, they may try to run away and hide. Spurrier wants to have some different things to say about that, though.
Courier has never won at Florida State. Low again. They are just wearing them down. The big question in the Florida-Florida State game, of course, is with Florida State, with a win, even if Miami beats Syracuse tonight, which they should, if Florida State beats Florida, will their strength of schedule in the computer leapfrog over Miami into that #2 spot? And, of course, the difference between #2 and #3 in the BCS is like falling off a cliff.
Florida State gets into that championship game. There's going to be some tempers flaring down in Miami with wins against Florida State and Virginia Tech.
And what about Washington? What about the Pac-10? It's going to be muddy and interesting to watch over the next couple of weeks.
It's going to be exciting down the stretch. And you got to let things play out. And we got people out in Seattle are going to say, hey, we beat the Hurricanes. And The Ducks, depending on what goes on up at Corvallis today, they're going to say, oh, we beat the Huskies. So still a lot of time to sort through these things, and some conference championship games coming up as well.
They're all playoff games right now. Joe Tiller arrived in November of 1996. He was asked if he had a 4-year plan to win the Big Ten title. He said, 4 years? I don't want to wait 4 years. I won't have any hair left. He's got plenty of hair left, and he's got 19 and a half minutes to go to Pasadena. Flags are down again.
Good, guys.
Low the ball carrier. Tackle by Anderson.
This will go against Indiana, as you see. Well, Joe Tiller, he was asked about the 4-year plan 4 years ago, and yesterday I asked him about it coming to fruition today.
This game has no past, it has no future, it is only the present, and we need to deal with that, and if we can deal with that successfully, then we can call ourselves champions. That's huge to this football team, because these are the guys we've spent a zillion hours with the last 4 years.
Low, down to the 10. We spent about 20 minutes with Joe Tiller yesterday. Casual conversation. Talked to him on camera for a little while. And you know what 2 words he never said? Rose Bowl. He would not say the words. We're going to be that much sweeter if he gets to say them in about an hour.
You don't need to bring up those words. You just need to win this ball game. And I'll tell you what, Montrell Lowe and that offensive line are having a lot to say about it. Lowe already more yards than he had in this game last year. Remember, he had 135 yards on the ground in the 99 bucket game.
Lowe again. Has nothing. The Civil War also going on. John Saunders at Times Square Stadium with an update.
Well, Sean, in this Civil War, the team that's back in the standings is winning right now. Ken Simonton, 20 yards on this touchdown run, 23-7. They missed a point after. Oregon, if they win this game, they're in the Rose Bowl. Oregon State needs some help, but they're helping themselves right now. Sean.
A lot of big screen TVs, John, and a lot of football lounges this afternoon, watching games, waiting for outcomes, figuring it all out.
And Oregon State, if they hold on in that game, Rick Neuheisel and his Washington Huskies, how big will that Apple Cup game be up in Pullman, Washington, a little later on tonight? Wow.
Attention, if your last name is Freshman and you're seating row 25 in section 17.
First down, we'll put the ball at the 8-yard line, as you see. But more importantly, time is just rolling off that clock. It is a clock control, ball control offense. You don't think of it that way, but it is. Normally through the air, now with a 20-point lead, it has been Montrell Lowe on the ground. 26 carries, 147 yards for Lowe. Looking here for his 3rd touchdown of the day, and he's got it. Before Dorsch can get the point away, Ron Bethel, perhaps out of frustration, takes a run at Brandon Gorin. The Hoosiers have had a frustrating season. They have been better than their 3-7 record indicates. And this is a rivalry game. They are playing for the old Oaken Bucket, and they have played with a lot of intensity and played well today. But they have been outmanned by a team that has a pretty big game, a pretty big outcome on the line.
That Indiana defense spending a lot of time out on the field and not getting much help from their highly rated offense.
Dorsch adds the point. The curtain is closing on the Big Ten race. 3rd touchdown of the day for Montrell Lowe. The Boilers are in control.
Big on taste, but low on cash? Try the new 99-cent BK Cravers menu from Burger King. 8 mouth-watering choices at an unbelievable price, like the tasty chicken tender sandwich, delicious flame-broiled bullseye barbecue deluxe burger, or zesty jalapeno poppers. Just 99 cents every day at Burger King, where you can get great-tasting food every day. Got the urge?
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
Dr. Pepper, you make the world taste better, yeah. You make the world go around and round. You pick it up, you can't put it down. Dr. Pepper, you make the world taste better. You make the world
Know how to spot a die-hard battery owner? Look for their jumper cables. Die Hard, America's most trusted battery, with 30 years of starting power. How much do you trust your battery?
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
A beautiful young wife, dying on the bedroom floor. Her husband says she shot herself, but did she? A dramatic 2020 Downtown Monday.
It takes two to tango in Pasadena. And one of those spots is about to be filled. Graham going to be driven back to the 2. Wind has killed some of those long kickoffs today. Graham tries to cut back, another solid run back out to the 31, where Indiana will take over. Some late nonsense.
Graham returns to the 32-yard line. Henley marker on the flag.
Montrell Lowe, the sophomore, stepping out of obscurity in style today with the granddaddy on the line. 3 touchdowns for the sophomore. He entered the game with just 2 touchdowns on the year. They normally turn it over to Steve Ennis in short yardage situations, but Lowe hasn't given them that opportunity today. How much do you think a Rose is going for at the local florist in West Lafayette this afternoon? They could probably charge about $300 a dozen and still sell out.
You think there's some excitement in this community? Get back west to Pasadena. This would be the first time in Purdue history that this team would win a Big Ten championship and get a Rose Bowl appearance. And that was Patrick Schaub. And no place for that with a 27-point lead. Don't give Antoine Randall any more help than he already has.
He doesn't need it. Again, a freeze option look. Oh, he's got a ton of field if he wants to run. You better believe he does. Back towards the middle and down to the 35. 18 more yards on the ground for Antoine Randall. He is closing in on 100 for the day.
And Purdue deserves big credit on defense. They've done a great job of bottling up Randall. But, Sean, as I look back over the course of this game, I would have liked to have seen Antoine Randall run the ball downfield, break from the pocket, and try to pick up more yards with his speed. He's gotten stuck in a rut, but trying to find receivers downfield and letting balls go down the playing field.
See the early day results from the Big Ten. This is the final game of the Big Ten season, and it appears it will be the one to crown the champion in West Lafayette. Randall, another healthy gain. Out of bounds he goes at the 19-yard line. 16 more yards for Randall as he crashes through the 100-yard barrier on the day. So Thursday night, I mean, how many rivalry games do we have this week? The Egg Bowl, Mississippi State and Ole Miss. What a great year Mississippi State has had without getting any attention at all. They got a chance to play for the SEC title. They're ranked 13th in the nation. A great defensive team. Mike Tirico lead Corso. Dr. Jerry Punch, Kirk Herbstreit. They have the game for you Thursday night on ESPN. Mississippi State's probably the best team you haven't seen this year. Randall L., the best player that you might not have seen, is running out of magic. Akin Adele, a super talent, a junior, makes the stop. And now it's just getting silly out there.
And Purdue defensive players may have baited Indiana into another personal foul. And this would be a huge one because a touchdown in this drive gets you within 3 touchdowns with the whole fourth quarter remaining. What a play by Adele. I mean, you talk about impressive physique on a defensive end with speed.
After the play, dead ball, personal foul on the defense, dead ball, personal foul on the offense, penalties offset.
You know, if he had announced offense first, I don't think the people would have gotten that upset.
I think the officials did a pretty good job here of recognizing that both sides, both teams were involved after the play. And that's Matt Mitrione. Started things, and we didn't quite see what happened after the whistle, but nice job by the officials not to give either team a disadvantage after the extracurriculars that followed that whistle.
Joe's still coaching hard. Mitrione, no player was more vocal in his disappointment at last week's effort at Michigan State than Mitrione. Randall L. has a man over the middle of the field, complete. Short of a first down, very close to one. It's the tight end, Chris Dealman, his first catch. It's the 6th completion for Antoine Randall L. today.
You talk about a Big Ten throwback. Number 83, Chris Dealman. He's played quite a bit of defensive tackle this year in addition to his duties at tight end, and a nice job of finding a little hole downfield. What about Antoine Randall L. staying alive in the pocket? This is a big drive. If they can convert here, we still have a ball game.
They convert at least the first down, it appears. Depends on the spot. It doesn't look like they're going to give him too much. He needs to get across the 9-yard line. I'm not sure he did.
No, they didn't give him a very good spot there, Sean, and in terms of picking up yardage. I'm not saying it wasn't the correct spot, but they did not determine that Antoine Randall L. got much of a forward push.
There have been so many colorful descriptions of the Indiana quarterback. I think my favorite last week, and you can back this up now, having seen him play this afternoon, he is as predictable as a puppy on a Persian rug.
You know, LeVar Arrington, the great Penn State linebacker who's moved on to NFL, at least pre-stardom, he said that Antoine Randall L. is the best quarterback I've ever lined up against defensively.
That was, I think they made it and got the first down by the length of a hanging chad.
Or at least the length of a half ballot. And Joe Tiller, and I'm telling you, he is not relaxing right now. Even with a 34-7 lead, a 20-point lead going into the fourth quarter in college football with the clock stopping on first downs, at 15 minutes can be an eternity.
That's because number 11 is on the other side. He can make it an eternity. Cuts back. He's going nowhere. It's Adele again.
We haven't seen the option in a while, Sean, and there's a reason for that. Purdue has solved the puzzle, and they did it pretty early. This is the first option we've seen since maybe the second quarter. Adele, he's having himself a big football game. If Indiana's going to get things done, they may have to go to the air or maybe run that belly to the fullback and have 11 duck up inside of it.
A great story. Played 1 year at junior college, and he is going to anchor this Purdue defense next year. 15 minutes to Pasadena for Purdue. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Looking to save more and spend less this holiday season? With the Chrysler Holiday Sale, you can do just that. Because now you can save over $5,100 when you buy a new 2000 Concorde LX with 0% financing. Or choose a low $289 lease on a 2001 Sebring LX Coupe. So take advantage of the Chrysler Holiday Sale today for savings that let you spend more on a real holiday priority, yourself.
Welcome to Transmegalith, 268th floor, Information Services Division.
Yes?
We're from Luftgart. We provide enterprise IT consulting.
Please?
ERP, CRM, and ASP management.
Cake?
24/7 apps hosting.
I already have one company for every application my division needs.
How's that possible?
I have Quest.
Communications change everything. Ride the light, Quest.
In after-school programs, your kids will find the hero inside themselves. Let us know you on after-school programs in your area. Call 1-800-USA-LEARN.
The Irish are looking for their first BCS berth. To keep their quest alive, they have to beat the Trojans in the Coliseum. Notre Dame battles USC next Saturday on ABC Sports.
In the last 4 nights, you saw this.
Final answer?
What?
Oh. Wow! You nailed it.
It's the final night. And the final question will be for $1 million. But is it for Joy or Norm? The all-new Millionaire Celebrity Edition, ABC Sunday, 9/8 Central.
No, thank you. Oh, honey, my mother's coming over Sunday afternoon, so don't make any plans.
Die-hard Colts fans bank with their team banks. Union Federal Bank. Open your official Colts checking package today.
And how was everything this evening, sir? Delightful, thank you. Very good.
Hey, see you on Sunday. Union Federal, official bank of the Indianapolis Colts.
Signing up to bring back a nativity scene.
Monday after Judge Judy.
If Indiana scores, it's a 20-point game. Enough time for Antoine Randall in the fourth quarter?
There's always enough time down by 3 touchdowns, especially with this offense. The problem, you got Brees on the other sideline.
Again, Randall L. in trouble, and he has to flare it out with a flag. I don't think you could have described it better than to say that Purdue has solved the puzzle. That is exactly what they did, and they solved it almost immediately in this game.
Now, they haven't solved the puzzle on this drive yet, and that's a big mistake by the Boilermakers, lining up in the neutral zone or moving into the neutral zone just before the snap.
Offside on the defense. 5 yards, half the distance. Still second down.
Purdue led this thing 20-7 at halftime. Drew Brees has been in command, quarterbacking the ship. Montrell Lowe's second touchdown of the day was followed by a Stuart Schweigert interception in the end zone, and then Lowe completing the hat trick, his third touchdown, has made it a 27-point game. Perhaps the Hoosiers' last chance to jump back in it and give themselves an opportunity. Randall L. gets it away to LeBron Williams. He's got the corner and the touchdown.
LeBron Williams for the touchdown.
They just couldn't get Randall L. down.
Randall L. breaks a tackle here by Joe Odom that makes this play. You talk about being elusive on the option play, and Williams just walks into the end zone. And I got news for you. This game is not over yet.
And particularly with the stakes, with what is on the line for Purdue, you could tell by just how quiet it got in here. If Indiana scores again, given the stakes of the game and what might be running through the mind of a Purdue team that did not play well last week at Michigan State, this could get awfully, awfully interesting.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I mean, I would prefer to be sitting on a 21, maybe 20-point lead if I'm Joe Tiller, but, you know, and Indiana going for 2 here, I don't understand this. Why are you going to try to cut the lead to 19?
This does not make sense. And they won't convert. It's Schweigert again. It was puzzling decision-making. It is a 21-point game, not a 20-point game. 14:50 separates Purdue from the Roses.
Introducing the all-new Silverado Heavy Duty. The
the most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
So there's this beef tenderloin, and Chili's asked, what if we flame grilled it? And served it with awesome blossom strings and called it ranch hand filet. And the people said, yeah, I could dig that. And here we are.
Honey, the one thing I need you to do today is open an Ameritrade account, okay? Yeah.
Yeah. Call 1-800-AMERITRADE. Ameritrade. It's how you get somewhere on Wall Street.
They're the largest creatures on Earth. They've adapted and evolved with strength and determination. The kind of strength that helps the Pacific Life family of companies manage more than $300 billion for its clients. And determination that has guided Pacific Life for 130 years. Size, strength, longevity, offering annuities, insurance, and investments. Use the power of Pacific Life.
Introducing Chili's baby back ribs. To go.
I think it's going to be about a yard short. Bring it up 4th and 1.
Get in, get out, get on with your life.
Washington is in a must-win situation. Injuries have left St. Louis searching for new heroes. It's survival of the fittest. Monday Night Football at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC.
Got to wonder, David, why Cam Cameron would go for 2 there.
Yeah, he's going to answer some questions about that in the press conference, I'd imagine, on Monday. I mean, you cut the lead to 20, you're down 3 touchdowns. You know, why would you try to cut the lead to 19 points? Are you looking for 2 8-point plays and a field goal? That was, you know, at best puzzling to me.
Let's see if it matters. Clapton and Sutherland back deep. He's going to come to Clapton. Tripped up, and I'll tell you what, if he didn't cross ankles in that sequence with Marcus Floyd, he might have been gone. We check out our Courtyard by Marriott moment. 1 year ago, when these two teams met for the bucket, it came down to the 4th quarter. It was a tight game. In fact, Hoosiers had the lead until Vinny Sutherland ran a punt back 66 yards for a touchdown. And Purdue went on to bring the bucket back to West Lafayette, where it currently resides. A final of 30-24. Antoine Randall had a huge passing game, throwing for 329 yards. He has thrown for only 105 here today. Montrell Lowe, 3 touchdowns, and he's got 5 yards on 1st down. Now, I would imagine the old Oaken bucket is not, I mean, the Stanley Cup, you can see clearly how you can drink out of the Stanley Cup. And the old Oaken bucket, that would strike me as a riskier proposition.
Yeah, if it was a little bigger, you might be able to bathe in it, but I can't see drinking champagne or beer out of that thing. But Indiana on defense, they're going to have to solve this running game in a hurry. They cannot let Purdue work on the clock.
Brees is going to keep this all the way himself. He's got a 1st down. He stays inbounds and is in the Indiana territory. Brees has run for a touchdown. He's caught a pass from himself.
And some missed tackles here by Indiana. I mean, they did not defense that poorly, with the exception of some shoddy tackling, and that has been a big problem for the Hoosiers over the course of this football season.
A reminder, at the conclusion of today's game, we'll select the Chevrolet Player of the Game for each team. Chevrolet will make a contribution to each university's General Scholarship Fund. That gentleman right there would not be a bad choice. He is played like it's a scrimmage in August. That's how cool and calm he has been. He hasn't looked like a quarterback who's playing a game with the Rose Bowl on the line.
Well, and Purdue did a nice job in the first half of getting a lead, and that can make things a lot more comfortable on you. Not only a rivalry game, but with the Rose Bowl on the line. And what else can make you a lot more comfortable is the running of Montrell Lowe.
David, you were a quarterback that went into a game with a chance to clinch a Rose Bowl appearance that eventually your UCLA team achieved back in 1985. How do you block out the magnitude of the game? Can you?
Well, it's tough, and it's always in the back of your mind. I'll tell you, when Brees comes out of this game, he'll say, hey, this one felt a bit different than any other one I played.
The Hoosiers know that Lowe is getting it pretty much on every snap from center, and he's still getting 4 or 5 yards at a time. Look, Montrell Lowe today. One of these days, he's going to tell his grandchildren that with the Rose Bowl on the line, he rolled up some huge numbers, 165 yards for Lowe's day. Now, meanwhile, as they say, on the other coast, Oregon and Oregon State battling right now. Oregon State is up. If they hold on and win, they will watch Washington and Washington State as the nation's lonely eyes will turn to Rick Neuheisel's club to see if they can clinch the Rose Bowl spot, which at this point looks like it will be against Purdue. Brees runs it up the middle. Another first down. You get the feeling, having seen a lot of Indiana's games this year, they are putting forth the effort here today, David. You can't complain about it, but they just don't have the personnel to stop the offense being quarterbacked by a Drew Brees.
Yeah, not only the personnel, but Indiana, they're looking a bit worn down out there. There's some hands on some knee pads, and they spent a long time on the field in the first half, and even longer period of time here in the second half. And if Indiana can't get a stop, this one's going to be over here pretty soon.
Purdue has had it for 27 of the 47 minutes in this game. Here is Lowe again. Cuts back to the middle. He is down to the 11. Speaking of the Pac-10 and the Civil War, we check in again with John Saunders.
Well, the Ducks are quacking again for Oregon. Joey Harrington to LaCorey Collins. This one covers 29 yards, gets it down to the 1-yard line, and sets up the touchdown. Maurice Morris on the next play from 1 yard. They go for the 2-point conversion, do not get it. So right now, the Beavers lead 23-13.
All right, John, Maurice Morris. How is that for a junior college signing?
Oh, he was the best JC back in the country, and slowed down the last couple of weeks. Joey Harrington, a little bit like Drew Brees. He's a guy who gets better with the game on the line. Things may tighten up a little bit as that fourth quarter goes on.
This is Cedric Brown, a sophomore from Victoria, Texas, getting his first carry.
It
was Sherrod Wallace who came up to make the stop. Well, hope you got your logistics worked out, because we got you back in front of the TV at 8 o'clock Eastern for the big one of the day, Florida and Florida State. It would be a stretch, perhaps, to call this the biggest event going on in Florida State Capitol this weekend, but pretty darn close.
It'll be interesting to see how Winky's feeling. He had some flu-like symptoms, and I heard a report that he actually had gone to the hospital yesterday for a short period of time.
Winky he can't buy a break with these injuries that have affected him through this season, yet he has still put up unbelievable numbers, and depending on how the computer is going to play out, Chris Winky may, when it's all said and done, have a chance to play for it all.
And start on the offense, 5 yards, still second down.
2 years ago, remember, he got knocked out of that starting assignment in the national championship game against Tennessee. And Marcus Outson, a third stringer. Remember, Dan Kendra was in the mix at quarterback, and Outson got the start. And I think that's really the factor that enabled Tennessee to clearly outplay the Seminoles in that football game.
Have to think logic certainly dictates that it is Josh Heupel's to lose right now.
Yeah, one time today he was 17 for 17 in that football game, if my memory is correct, and missed his last 9 passes. If he wins that conference championship game, I think the Heisman is his.
Lowe turns the corner. A run for the Roses and a leap for the Roses, but he'll fall a yard short. What a day. He doesn't want to come out of this game.
Well, Montrell Lowe is having a wonderful game, but first you have to give credit to the offensive line. The offensive line, in my book, the most important position, and I know there are 5 of them, but to me it's the most important spot on the field. You can win sometimes with a quarterback that's above average. You cannot win with an offensive line that's below average, and they get the extra added benefit of having number 15 playing quarterback for him.
Low. Fourth touchdown of the day. Adds the extra point. Cam Cameron can only watch. The Boilermakers inch closer. 4 touchdowns for Montrell Lowe.
Welcome to Transmegala, 268th floor, Information Services Division.
Yes?
We're from Luftgart. We provide enterprise IT consulting.
T?
ERP, CRM, and ASP management.
K?
24/7 apps hosting.
I already have one company for every application my division needs.
How is that possible?
I have Quest.
Communications change everything. Ride the light. Quest.
The year was 1983, and Danger Kitty released their hit single, Love Rocket. With it came instant fame and fortune. They bought mansions, cars, and the finest women's clothing. But by 1984, the fans left, the fortune was gone, and the dream was over. Desperate for money, Danger Kitty last performed at the Smuggler Bar Mitzvah.
Some people just can't live within their means. The Discover card with spending management tools for the slightly smarter consumer.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Tahoe. Now offering a third row of seats that's light and easier to handle than anything else out there. It's nowhere near anything. The new Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
College football and ABC Sports brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. By the Discover card, there's always something more to discover. And by Quest, the communications to change everything. 69,000 have jam-packed their way into Ross-Ade Stadium to witness something most have not seen in their lifetime. A.C. Carter will try one. He is still on his feet. Look at the cutback and a saving tackle made by guess who? Stuart Schweiger. He has made play after play after play.
Yeah, Schweiger doesn't make that play, and that's a touchdown.
Schweiger, a true freshman, an option quarterback in high school a year ago, a battle to determine which side of the ball he was going to play on here. He could have played on either. And injuries to a veteran in the secondary, Ben Smith, gave him the opportunity to play, and has he ever taken advantage of it? Buck Spack told us yesterday he is stunned by all he has been able to accomplish being so young, playing such an important position on defense. Randall L. overthrows Dwayne Hogan. And for the first time today, some chinks in the armor of Antoine Randall L. A game that began promising for Indiana on their second possession. They were driving in a scoreless game. But Randall L. was hit by Gilbert Gardner, another true freshman, put it on the ground. Drew Brees then took over on offense after a slow start. And today he has turned it over to the sophomore Montrell Lowe, who has run for 4 touchdowns. Schweigert, a big interception in the end zone of Antoine Randall L. And despite Randall L's best efforts, the Purdue defense has done all they could hope to do against Antoine Randall L today, and maybe have played him as tough, with the exception of Michigan, as anybody in the Big Ten this year. Jerry Dorsey on the long completion.
Yeah, this type of passing play has been missing in the Indiana arsenal. The intermediate route, the dig route at about 22 yards. A nice play by Dorsey, nice sharp cut into the middle of the defense, and one of the nicest balls we've seen from Antoine Randall all day long.
Again, Randall has to get rid of it quickly. Adele was in that passing lane, almost batted it down. Well, another huge Monday Night Football game is on tap. In a must-win situation now, you have to think for the Redskins. That's not the place you want to be if you have to win a game. In St. Louis, trying to stop Trent Green and the rapid-fire Rams. Monday Night Football live at 9 Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. We got the Steelers and Jaguars tomorrow night on ESPN as well.
A tough loss for Pittsburgh last week.
They have had I mean, how many phone calls of apology can you get from the league? What's the limit on that?
An onside kick gone terribly wrong for the Steelers.
Randall has a little more time. Nothing he can do with it. And there's the pursuit. Sean Phillips, the freshman, and it's funny when you're up by 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter how you don't get as fatigued as easily, and this young Purdue defense is still chasing Antoine Randall all over the field.
You hear so much about the Purdue passing game, Brees putting the ball in the air, but when it came time to clinch the Rose Bowl berth and win this big rivalry game, it's really been the Purdue defense and the running game for the Boilermakers that has been the difference in this ballgame.
Low is the story right now. 4 touchdowns. Said these freshmen and sophomores for Purdue are playing like it's the spring game. They don't look like they're under any pressure at all, and that was not the case a week ago at East Lansing. The completion, Levron Williams, who been underutilized a little bit today. He is short of a Indiana first down. Well, time permitting, after this one, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report and scores and highlights. John and Terry, get yourself organized after this day. We're in the middle of the day and all the games are going on. That's when it gets crazy. That's when you got to kind of sit back in the pocket a little bit, try to see all the different progressions, all the different games that have taken place, all the different races and the different conferences and the rivalries, and try to figure out what's happening. That's why John Saunders reads that progression better than anybody in the business.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brock Spack, the defensive coordinator for Purdue, you look at that scoreboard, 13 points put up on the scoreboard by that explosive Hoosier offensive unit, and Spack has gotten done what he targeted this week. He's taken the option game away from Indiana, and he has contained Antoine Randall for the most part and not allowed him to escape the pocket. Great game plan coming to this one, designed by Brock Spack.
The reaction of the crowd was for an announcement made at Ross-Ade Stadium regarding the number to call to get tickets for Purdue's next game. On 4th down, Indiana stays alive. Joe Odom comes across to rock Dwayne Hogan's world and make him pay for that first down.
And after the Hoosiers cut the lead to 21 points, the drive that we're going to look back on is that last drive by the Boilermakers. I'll tell you what, Drew Brees has really come of age with all the numbers, an all-time leading passer in Big Ten history. He has stepped up and made the grade. Now he's headed out west.
And making it even more amazing is when you consider how close Purdue came to not even having this opportunity. Long pass complete, the ball's on the ground, they will call it incomplete. When the story of this Purdue season is written, they will remember a variety of close shaves. They trailed Michigan 28-10, and Travis Dorsch missed a field goal about 2 minutes before that to try to win the game. That was the final play of the game. How about Craig Terrell blocking the field goal in overtime against Wisconsin, and Ashante Woodyard returning it for the score and the win at Camp Randall Stadium. And no one who is here will ever forget the touchdown completion to Seth Morales of 78 yards thrown by Drew Brees in the fourth quarter after Brees had very nearly thrown that game away 3 plays earlier.
ABC's own Gary Danielson said that was the biggest clutch pass he'd seen in the last 10 years doing games for ABC Sports. That's saying a lot.
How could you argue that? Henry Frazier is
Pass complete to
make it Leveron Williams on the completion. It was an amazing fourth quarter, one in which Drew Brees for 3 quarters just flirted with disaster, and then finally when it hit him smack between the eyes, that was the defining moment of the season. Warren Moore, Ike Moore, a defensive lineman for Purdue, went over to Drew Brees after he threw that interception against Ohio State, put his arm around him and said, "Don't forget what your mother always said. If you break it, you fix it." Randall L. escapes. Over the middle, he's got Dorsey. And that's an Indiana first down. 3 plays later, Drew Brees fixed it all right. He won that game, and now, if you take another step backwards, you look at last week, it was broken again for Michigan against Michigan State, wasn't it? But today, they have fixed it.
And you said it, Sean, things got a little bit tighter for not only the Purdue players and coaches, but West Lafayette, the entire community, after losing to the last place team in the Big Ten and forcing a must-win situation today. And
how about going golf shirt? It's about 25 degrees down on the field. Randall L. He has no trouble staying cool under pressure. Ralph Turner comes up to put the hit on him, but that clock is going to keep on rolling. Indiana may have the most dangerous offensive player in the league, the one that Ralph Turner just stuck, but they don't have an offensive system that makes it very easy for them to make up a lot of points in a short amount of time.
Especially when you're sitting there down 28 points and less than 6 minutes to go in this football game.
Second down and 3.
What a game defensively for the Boilermakers.
Randall L., as you can imagine, has a ton of freedom from offensive coordinator Hal Hunter based on what he sees at the line of scrimmage. And what he sees is another loss. Flag down. Might have been a face mask. Of course, if you're an Indiana football fan, the biggest question, your biggest concern on the table is not necessarily this call.
Personal foul, face mask, on the defense, half the distance, automatic first down.
But will Antoine Randall L. come back next year for his senior year?
That's Joe Odom getting a big handful of face mask, and you know, in my book, that might have been a 5-yarder, but you got to err on the conservative side there, and it did produce a tackle. So Indiana going to go to work with a first down here with just over 5 minutes to go.
Randall L. has said he will be back for his senior year. Is there an NFL future for Antoine Randall L.? I asked that question when we talked to Indiana coaches on Wednesday, and they say absolutely. It may not be as a quarterback, although the way the quarterback position is starting to evolve at the NFL level, you just don't know. Randall L. End zone. Turner, make it Schweigert. Got it. Schweigert's second interception of the second half.
And the 5th interception of the year for this super true freshman. I mean, you can't make a better play and a better break on the ball as a free safety than the one Schweigert made there. Super play by the true freshman.
And you can't do it in a bigger game. Some help?
Yeah.
Just put it in neutral.
The new Chevy Tracker LT. Now the powerful V6 engine. It thinks big.
Make sure your parking brake's off.
Chevy Tracker, like a rock.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Flat. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called?
Aflac?
I don't know.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Big on taste, but low on cash? Try the new 99-cent BK Cravers menu from Burger King. 8 mouth-watering choices at an unbelievable price. Like the delicious flame-broiled Bullseye Barbecue Deluxe Burger, tasty chicken tender sandwich, or cheesy mozzarella sticks. Just 99 cents every day at Burger King, where you can get great-tasting food every day. Got the urge?
Couples. Sing. Garcia. Montgomery. A friendly game of golf with $1 million up for grabs. The Skins game next Saturday on ABC.
It's getting close in West Lafayette. Does Stuart Schweigert have some instincts for the game or what? Schweigert cutting across to make the play. He read Randall L. all the way, kept that 1 foot inbounds. His second interception of the second half. Now the only concern for Drew Brees, Montrell Lowe is getting out of the end zone. He stopped for a moment on the line and fights forward for a couple of yards.
Gain of 1.
The Purdue team, as an offensive team, as a total team, as you look at a player you might not have been overly familiar with before today, Montrell Lowe. When you think Purdue football, you think number 15. You think Drew Brees. With the supporting cast around him, the offensive line that David talked about, Montrell Lowe, and an improving defense is going to make this a very interesting team next year. Lowe, not near the 8-yard line. That's not the old Oaken bucket, but Joe Tiller may get that one before he gets the trophy one. This might be the most difficult portion of the game. Not the game plan, but planning the ice bucket shower. Brees will keep it himself. First down. He has picked his spots on the bootleg, and they have been big ones. He has run for first downs. He has run for a touchdown. David Norrie has headed downstairs to the field at Ross-Ade Stadium, where a celebration is 3 minutes and 2 seconds away. There were, as you can imagine, a lot of security concerns here in West Lafayette this week. Extra security was added. Low. Doesn't have much, but the clock will keep on rolling. 34 years ago, January 2nd, 1967, the team led by Bob Greasy built a third quarter lead on USC, and they would hold on to win by a final of 14-13. And USC went for 2 in the fourth quarter, didn't get it, and the Purdue Boilermakers would win the Rose Bowl. And who could have imagined then how long it would be before they would return? They still had a lot of talent on their team in the late 60s. Leroy Keys, there's Montrell Lowe, rolling his way across the 200-yard mark. Brees in conversation with his head coach. You may notice that the head coach is a little wet. Here's why. How's that for element of surprise? See, Joe Tiller has been around the block. If that clock gets down to 10 seconds left, he knows it's coming. But you hit the head coach with 1:55 to go, you're in business. Look at the third down numbers for perhaps the best third down team in the country this year. Drew Brees' squad have been hitting at 56% this year on third down conversion. Those numbers are simply breathtaking. Joe Tiller is going to make some changes on the offensive line, and he is going to make a change at quarterback. Drew Brees' afternoon is over. The embrace from Matt Mitrione. And how about those numbers in the biggest game of his life? Chucky Okobe, his center, who volunteered this week to play defense. If Joe Tiller needed someone to stop Antoine Randall, the center Okobe said, "I'll do it, coach, if nobody else can." David Edgerton, a senior who has not played this year, a junior college transfer, hands to Montrell Lowe. And what a great gesture for Joe Tiller. Brandon Hance, a true freshman, is Drew Brees' true backup, and he will be the quarterback next year. But Joe Tiller will give David Edgerton a chance to be on the field. Purdue will have to punt. It has not been a busy day for the punter, Scott Kurz. There is David Edgerton, who now has a story to tell. See if they can get this punt off. They will. Darren Graham calls for a fair catch. 19 seconds remain on the clock. It's been a breeze today for Purdue.
Fred is great. He always wants to play. Just look at him go. He's got so much energy, but he sure can work up quite a thirst. That's why I give him Budweiser. It's made with only the choicest hops and barley, and it's got a clean, crisp taste that he loves. I wouldn't give him anything less.
With shopping on your MSN homepage, you can search, shop, and compare for televisions, cell phones, video cameras, or whatever else you need.
Introducing the all-new Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
For every player, for every coach, for every trainer and manager and secretary in the football office, these are the moments you wait your whole life for. This is why you work the hours. And these are the moments you remember for the rest of your life. Think of the great players that have worn a Purdue uniform since the last time they made it to the Rose Bowl. Pass is completed and out of bounds. Players that never got a chance to play in Pasadena. Before Joe Tiller arrived, Mike Allstott, Otis Armstrong, Jim Everett, Mike Phipps, Len Dawson, Rod Woodson. Our Chevy truck players of the game, in recognition of their efforts, Antoine Randall and Drew Brees Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Randall will throw it deep. Got a man down there, and this one is almost intercepted. You think back as the bucket is in hand. How close Purdue came to not being here at all. The win against Ohio State, down by 18 at home to Michigan. And it has most likely come down to a final play. They have waited a lifetime, 34 years. And now for Purdue, the wait is over. California, here they come. Drew Brees will be with David Norrie, Purdue to Rose. 41-13 the final. The head coach of the Big Ten champion Purdue Boilermakers is with David Norrie.
Coach, congratulations. You're headed to Pasadena.
Thank you very much. It's been a long time coming, but it's been worth the wait.
What did you have to say to the team in the locker room before this game?
We can do it. We will do it with no excuses. It's all out there for us. Let's go get it.
With all the publicity that your throwing game gets, it really was a game of defense and your running game.
Yeah, I really felt if our defense could contain, particularly our great quarterback, that we could then control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, which we were able to do.
What does this mean to the Purdue community, the coaches and the players?
It's hard to say right now. This is, like I said, a long time coming. So we always say we got to sniff the roses as we're going through life, and Purdue's going to have a chance to do that now.
Well, get ready for the presentation from the Tournament of Roses, and congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
Back up to you, Sean.
All right, David. Joe Tiller took his team 2 years ago to see the Rose Bowl when he was playing in the Kickoff Classic out in Los Angeles 2 years ago. He took the team bus by it to see it. They will get a closer look on January 1st. It was a game in many ways as dangerous as Antoine Randall was that was never in jeopardy because Drew Brees played with so much poise. Indiana, battling for the bucket, did everything they possibly could to stay in this game. Business-like this week. They were too focused, they were too concerned, and too disappointed in their effort at Michigan State. And Joe Tiller finally would utter those two words. Rose Bowl. David Norrie, was this game ever in doubt?
Well, I think it's always in doubt, especially with the drive by Indiana towards the end of the third quarter. But a couple drives by Drew Brees in the offense made it a non-issue in the fourth quarter.
I will ask you another question. Who do you think Purdue will be facing on January 1st?
Well, I'll tell you what, that game, and I'm still waiting to hear the outcome, Sean. I haven't heard the outcome from Corvallis, but the game will be a big one, obviously, up in Pullman. Huskies need a win if Oregon State gets a win here against the Ducks. And, of course, if the Ducks win, they're headed to Pasadena. I don't think Joe Tiller or the Purdue team care who they line up against. This is the first time Purdue has ever won the Big Ten championship and gone to the Rose Bowl in the same year.
Not right now, they don't care. It has been a moment they have waited a lifetime for, and the fans in West Lafayette are simply taking it in. They have not been rowdy. They were not rambunctious tonight. It has been simply a celebration. The president of the Tournament of Roses is here to make the presentation many Purdue fans have waited a lifetime for. Purdue wins it by a final of 41-13. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Keyword ABC College Football. For my partner, David Norris, for our entire casting crew, we thank you for joining us here today. Florida and Florida State coming up in an hour.
Several big stories coming your way next on 6 News.
Including live team coverage from West Lafayette.
Oh, man, are they ready to rock for the Roses here in West Lafayette? Ed Sorensen live outside Mackey Arena. They're going to Pasadena for the first time in 34 years. Complete live team coverage of this monster story, guys.
Also today, a plume of smoke. You can barely see it there rising over downtown. We are live at the scene of today's 3-alarm apartment fire.
And the overseas ballots are in. Get the very latest on the Florida recount.
6 News is next.
Live from RTV6 Indianapolis, standing up for you. This is 6 News Weekend.
A big win for Purdue, that's putting it mildly. Now they're on the road to the Rose Bowl.
The overseas ballots are in, but there is still no winner in the presidential race. We'll have the latest on the Florida recount.
And a huge apartment fire leaves several families homeless. We'll have a live report. Good evening. There are several big stories. We begin with that big game.
Yeah, Purdue will take the coveted trip to Pasadena after today's win over IU. The Boilers going to the Rose Bowl. We have live team coverage. Sports director Ed Sorensen is going to lead our coverage from West Lafayette. But we turn first to Dave. He has a quick look at the highlights. Dave.
That's right, guys. Thanks. Good evening. As if playing IU for the old Oaken Bucket wasn't big enough with the pride and the bragging rights that come with it, today Purdue also played for the right to go to the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of bowl games. And aside from a shot at a national championship, it's the goal that the Boilers wanted to achieve this season. Tonight, mission has been accomplished for the Boilermakers. To West Lafayette for just a few of the big highlights, many more to come later in this hour. First quarter, no score. IU driving. Antoine Randall, and the option hit by Gilbert Gardner. Aiken Adele recovers for the Boilers. Purdue then turns that into 6. Montrell Lowe off the left tackle. 12-yard touchdown. 6-0 Purdue at that point after they missed the PAT. Lowe with 4 rushing touchdowns this afternoon. Second quarter then, 13-7 Boilers. Purdue on the IU-2. Drew runs the bootleg, takes it in for the touchdown. At the half, the Boilers are up 20-7. Brees had 1 touchdown passing, 1 touchdown rushing the ball. Purdue wins it. Look at the celebration and the scene at Ross-Ade tonight. 41-13 the final. They win by 28. It's their first Rose Bowl trip since the 66-67 season. The Boilers finished the regular season at 8-3, 6-2 in the Big Ten. The Hoosiers finished the season at 3-8 and 2-6 in the conference. So the Boilers are headed to the Rose Bowl for the first time in 34 years. Let's head right to West Lafayette, where Ed Sorensen joins us among the masses. Ed.
You're the man. You're the man. How sweet it is, right, guys? No. Okay. Now, wait a minute. We rehearsed this, and these guys are so good at this. They know they're going to be on television many times, network television. You can see this game New Year's Day right here on 6 and ABC. Purdue, for the first time since January of 1967. Wait. This gentleman, guys, this gentleman graduated in 84.
Yes, sir.
It's been a long wait, brother. How good does it taste?
Oh, it tastes great. Long overdue. Nobody believed in us. We believe in Drew. We believe in Tiller. And we're going to Pasadena, baby.
This gentleman graduated, excuse me, sir, this gentleman graduated in 99. Right. Now, you've been here during a period of great success, and Joe Tiller, the success started the day he showed up.
That's right, Ed. It's just been a tremendous amount of support from my house brothers at Circle Pines Cooperative, watching Tiller and the team grow, through the years, and it's just wonderful to see him in Pasadena.
All right, now let's get a comment from some of the females over here. You guys are obviously huge Boilerbackers as well. Is there any way that anything, finances or holidays or anything is going to keep you from making that trip?
Definitely not. Whatever it takes, I'm going to Pasadena.
And as long as you guys are going out there, I guess you might as well go out that way. You're going to win the game, right? We will have, I'm going to get other shots so you guys can celebrate. We'll have more live from West Lafayette, where the Boilermakers are going bananas. And again, you can see that Rose Bowl live here on 6 and ABC on New Year's against either Oregon or Oregon State, whoever wins the Pac-10. It's Sports Live West Lafayette. A lot more coming up later. We'll send it back to you in the studio. Oh, my guys.
All right, Ed. Thanks a lot. Be safe. We'll get back to you in a little bit. And, of course, I'll have a lot more coming up in sports, but congratulations to the Boilers tonight, heading to the Rose Bowl. Eric and Christy, back to you guys.
Well, you know, just about everybody wanted them, but not everyone had tickets to today's game.
And so, of course, thousands of us watched the event right here on ABC and RTV6. Rafael Sanchez continues our live team coverage now from West Lafayette. How you doing, Rafael?
I'm doing great, having a hard time hearing you, as you can imagine. You can still hear roars inside from Ross-Ade Stadium. Luckily, this is not Valentine's Day, because every rose imaginable is inside the stadium behind me. Purdue fans expecting IU's team to be a thorn in their Rose Bowl chances are now enjoying the sweet smell of victory.
I smell roses!
We're there. We're on the way. We're getting the ATA flight to California. We're there. I know we're going to make it.
This isn't about the Rose Bowl. This is about the rivalry between Purdue and IU.
On and around campus, the game was must-see TV. The win is also good news to campus merchants ready to deck their store shelves with everything Rose Bowl. On this campus today, few are nuts over IU. You see what I mean? But boy, are they ready for some California weather.
I can't wait to go to L.A. I can't wait to see some roses flying. I'm all about going to California and seeing Brees throw some touchdowns and win the Rose Bowl. That's all I'm about.
You're not dressed for California, though.
Well, I am underneath these clothes.
Underneath the first layer, we're dressed for California. We have Bermudas on.
Yeah, Bermuda's on. I'm gonna
Now, Bermudas would be too much to wear in West Lafayette tonight. Not too much, too little since it's so cold. But Bob McClain tells me that today was 65 degrees in Pasadena, so Bermuda's definitely for Pasadena. As you can see already, the game over just a few minutes ago, and already the presses, Christy and Evercamp, put out the Rose Bowl shirts, the official shirts, already on the stands. Live in West Lafayette, Rafael Sanchez, 6 News.
Pasadena definitely T-shirt weather. Thank you, Rafael.
Rafael's ready to go as well.
Yeah, he is. As you can imagine, the festivities, though, for today's game started long before the kickoff.
Yeah, we found fans tailgating, really just having a great time out there.
All the facts and figures in the program.
The fact is, you'll never find more fans in one area than right here at Ross-Ade Stadium, or at least in the parking lot. A lot that looks more like an outdoor cafe today. From the shish kebabs to the brats with some special liquid spices. Whether you're a Hoosier, or a Boiler. All this cheering builds up quite an appetite. And with roses in hand and high hopes for a trip out west, they continue to root for their team. For Sunny Duvall, that favorite team was determined the day she said, I do.
I didn't realize I was marrying an IU fan. I was kind of neutral before all this started, so now I'm kind of an IU fan.
Others say they were born a Boiler.
There's a few that like IU, but we all like Purdue! IU! As you can tell by the colors, right?
So they have their separate colors and separate player favorites.
Because I like Drew Brees.
But today, though competition on the field was fierce, off of it, you'll find quite a party filled with football fans braving the cold to show support in a rival game that draws so many each year.
And we can tell you more about the Pasadena Tournament of the Roses. It's promoted as a festival of flowers, music, as well as sports.
And this is the 112th year for the Rose Parade. It's scheduled for New Year's Day at 11 a.m. Indiana time. The 87th annual Rose Bowl game will follow at 4:30. And most of the tickets are distributed to the teams so they can sell them to the fans. A limited number of tickets will be made available to the general public. You have to call Ticketmaster after 11 a.m. December 12th. Get your pen, your paper ready. That number on the screen, 213-365-3550. Prices are set at $125 each.
At least one travel agency is already promoting a trip to Pasadena. Ambassador Travel Club is operating and offering a 2- or 4-night travel package, including round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and tickets to both the parade and the game. Ambassador is a division of ATA. And if you can't attend the Rose Bowl game in person, you can watch it on TV. ABC and RTV6 will broadcast the game live at 4:30 on New Year's Day. Well, they are just starting to celebrate in West Lafayette.
Plenty of spirit going on in West Lafayette right now, and perhaps spirits, but you know, aside from that, no reason to celebrate if you're a Purdue fan. Has it really been 34 years? Bob Greasy was the last to take Purdue to the Rose Bowl. Well, that rose is tasting sweet. We'll tell you about it. Head back to West Lafayette live with Ed. Much more. Good evening. After Joe Tiller's first season, you kind of knew it'd only be a matter of time before big things would happen. But it has to be even sweeter for Boiler fans when you consider what happened before this guy arrived. This is a program that didn't go to a bowl game in 12 straight seasons. Try saying that. Now they've gone to back-to-back Alamo Bowls, then a trip to the Outback Bowl, and now after a 34-year wait, they again look at the postseason now through rose-colored glasses. The battle for the old Oaken Bucket. 17th ranked Purdue hosting IU. First quarter, no score. IU driving. Randall L. hit by Gilbert Gardner. That's a fumble. Aiken Adele falls on it for Purdue. The Boilers convert that into 6 points. Montrell Lowe off the left tackle. 12-yard score. They missed the PAT, so it's 6-0 Purdue. Second quarter now, it's 13-0 Boilers at this point. IU gets on the board here. Randall L. rolls right. Finds Bercy Gaddis in the back of the end zone. 10-yard touchdown, 13-7 Purdue at this point. Twan was 13-28, 123 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. Also had 20 carries for 112 yards. Just for the half, though, Purdue at the IU goal line. Drew keeps it on the bootleg. 2-yard touchdown. It's 20-7 Purdue at that point. Montrell Lowe then strikes again third quarter. Power to the IU defense. 6-yard touchdown run. It's 27-7 Boilers at that point. Lowe with 38 carries, 208 yards. 4 touchdowns. He was huge today. IU inside the Boilers 30. Randall L. looking to the end zone, but the Boilers' Stuart Schweiger tips it to himself, picks it off. Schweiger doesn't down the ball and throws it away. Luckily for Purdue, they fall on it for a touchback. Schweiger with 2 picks today. Joe Tiller doused with water. The first Rose Bowl trip since 1967. The 66-67 Boilers went. And then the fans rushing the field. What a great scene there. Drew Brees with the rose in his teeth as they win it 41-13. Purdue now 8-3, 6-2, a co-champion in the conference. Ed Sorensen braved the cold and saw the making of history at Ross-Ade Stadium. He enjoys us now live with more. Ed.
Boy, there's no way that you could have missed this game. You know, when I came here back in 1985 to cover sports in Central Indiana, Purdue was just not a very good football program. They were known, as was, and IU still is, for basketball. They made it to the Final 8 in basketball in the NCAA tournament last spring, but now, thanks to Joe Tiller and Drew Brees, they are heading to the Rose Bowl for the first time in nearly 3.5 decades. Tiller came in. We mentioned this a bit earlier. Purdue hadn't gone to a bowl game in 13 straight years. They've gone to 4 straight now with the combination of Joe Tiller and Drew Brees, but nothing in recent Purdue sports history has been as sweet as the celebration that enveloped Ross-Ade Stadium just about an hour ago. And Drew Brees may not win the Heisman now, but he's the best player in the country in the hearts of all Boilermakers.
This is something that hasn't happened to Purdue in 34 years. Just think about that. I mean, I'm on cloud 9 right now, and if the Heisman works out, then great. But if not, I'm still going to the Rose Bowl. But I would definitely like to say I'd love to bring that Heisman Trophy back to Purdue and present it to my teammates because they're the ones who really deserve it.
What does this mean to the Purdue community, the coaches, and the players?
It's hard to say right now. This is, like I said, a long time coming. So we always say we got to sniff the roses as we're going through life. And Purdue's going to have a chance to do that now.
Boy, what a difference a great leader can make. Joe Tiller has proven that on the sidelines. Drew Brees has proven that yet again on the field. Purdue heads to the Rose Bowl New Year's Day, Pasadena, California, a game you can see right here on 6 and ABC. That'll do it live from West Lafayette on this momentous occasion for Purdue fans everywhere. Ed Sorensen reporting for the entire crew up here who did a great job. Dave, we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, what a scene. Ed, thanks a lot. Now, Purdue could have advanced to play Oregon if they'd beaten Oregon State today in what's known as the Civil War. But look at that, Oregon State by 10 over Oregon. So the Rose Bowl berth can go to Washington if they beat Washington State tonight. Right now, they're up 13-0. We'll update that for you tonight at 11 o'clock. So it could be Purdue and Washington in the Rose Bowl. Back